Hi, we back at it like a crack addict. What's going on, y'all? What's up? What's up? Can you all see me? Most importantly, and this, I stress this, ladies and gentlemen, this is the most important part. Can you all hear me? Test, test. What's going on, people? What's happening? What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? Let me just go ahead and drag this chat out right quick. Let me just pop this out. Okay, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna drag this right over here. And we're just going to expand this. All right, we good to go, y'all. How's everything sound? How are the audio levels? Hopefully the music is not overpowering the voice and vice versa. I want to give y'all that good quality experience. But while I do that, of course, since it is Ask Neo, we're going to run down the list and do some shout outs. All right, so starting at the top with the homie, wow, the homie Don Otaku came through with a $2 super chat about penis. Well, there we go. Not even 10 minutes into the stream, and he's gotten me to say penis on stream. There we go. So shout out to the homie Don Otaku for that. And then we got Bryce coming in saying best $2 you've ever spent. I'm saying, man, I'm saying some people they spend their money on video games. Don Otaku over here, he spends it doing $2 penis super chats, which, hey man, is what it is. Like I cannot knock the hustle. This man works hard. And he wants to spend the money on the things he wants to spend the money on. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Shout out to you, Don Otaku. Shout out to Bryce. Oh, we got Aaron Stallings in the chat as well. What up, what up, what up, y'all? Who else we got in here? Oh, we got Ghost Fixter. What's up, what's up? We got Raffy Grant. Harrison. What's good, Harrison? PierretheGamer. Hear me? Test, test. Test, test. Y'all there? Y'all there? Y'all there? All right, so YouTube says we're still live. So it should, if anything... If the YouTube stream doesn't refresh itself, manually refresh it. But yeah, I'm seeing all green check marks over here. So we should be good. We should be good, y'all. Y'all there? Y'all there? Test, test, test. All right. Okay, we're back in there. Holy shit. That was weird, man. So all of a sudden, you know, I was going ahead and I was, you know, doing the usual thing, going down the list, and then all of a sudden my computer restarted. And I had no idea, man. I had no idea. That's never happened on stream. But, you know, that's the life of a streamer, man. That's the life of a streamer. You always run into some type of technical difficulties. But yeah, we should be good to go now. I have the chat saved and everything. So we will commence the shout outs and everything. And for those who are watching, if it's not live, just refresh the page. It should be good to go. But yeah, let's go ahead and I don't even remember where we were on. But yeah, let me go down the list. So yeah, we got Ghost Fixter, we got Pierre in the chat, we got the homie Flame, Saturday Gang, what up, what up? That's a fact, bro, that's a fact. Let's see, we got Marcus Doyle Terrell, what's good, my guy? How you doing? Oh, and then Flame coming through with that $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Flame. Man, Neo really be like, hey, let's get these multiple streams 1 week, while also being like, Doki Doki, what's that? Kidding. Love you, brother. Hey, listen, man. Doki Doki will be back. It will return, man. And when it returns, it'll be glorious. Oh, and then shout out to Don Otaku, who's been a member of the Phantom Weirdos for the past 8 months. Appreciate you, my guy. Let's see who else we got in here. We got the Dark Walker Show. It's definitely DW. Yeah, DWTV. He renamed him. I recognize the profile picture. We got Agent E in the chat. We got Shadow Wolf. What's going on, Danny? How you doing? Andrew Tyler, what is going on? We got Valkian24. What's up, Maddie? We got KJ92, Luna Rose. We got Colin, my boy. What's up, Colin? How you doing, man? All right, NKDN checking in. $5 coming in from Don Otaku. This motherfucking NeoGameSpark busted out a live stream for some boring ass, unimportant shit like Microsoft buying Activision, but Doki Doki. Oh, so every single time, I feel like until I finish up Doki Doki, that's what it's about to be. I could talk about anything else. I could be like, yo, I just got married and my wife is having a kid. They'd be like, all right, but what does it have to do with Doki Doki though? But I appreciate the consistency from y'all. Y'all ain't letting up with this. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Oh, what's up, Bella? How you doing? Oh, we got the last demigod. What's up? Or is it the last demigod? I assume because the number 1 should make the I. We got Zack Rodriguez checking in. Fear No Hate playing Pokemon Legends Arceus. They really need to add voice acting. Oh shit, you got that early, or you sailed the high seas? Fear No Hate. Julian Harris, how you doing, bro? We got Kid Stupefy. Going down the list of everything. Like, what the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? Orange Chair, Dark Star Angel. What's going on, y'all? We got Gunther in the chat. Roosevelt, what's up, what's up? MX Woods. No, it was not just you guys. Neo, have my kids. I'm good, man. Your boy Neo ain't having kids for quite some time, man. But I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But I ain't trying to get tied down. Not now. Not now, man. I need some time. I need some time, man. Let me finish a few more games before I start having kids. Oh, let's see who else we got. We got the Whoa, hold up. One second. I gotta scroll back up. Damn, so many comments. You guys are awesome. We got the Vengeful. Oh wow, the Vengeful Slayer Metalhead Gamer. That is a mouthful. How are we gonna abbreviate that if you got a YouTube channel? We're just gonna call you Vengeful. That's it. Hey Neo, who do you think will get arrogant and fall from grace in the 10th generation? Sony with the PlayStation 6, Xbox with their next console, or Nintendo with the Switch 2? Honestly, man, it's too early to tell. I mean, the general consensus right now is people think that's going to be Sony because of their recent track record of, you know, $70 games. And there was a time where they were going to charge you for every single one of their, or they weren't going to let you upgrade to their games. You had to pay the what was it, the dual entitlements until the internet backlash for Horizon. And they were like, okay, you know what, going forward, you'll be able to upgrade for $10. So a lot of people are saying Sony because that's just what the nature has been, but it's just too early to tell, man. It's way too early to tell. Any one of these companies can go down that route. I mean, just like how Xbox is all buddy with the community, as soon as they start getting their metrics that they want, they could easily say, you know what, we're gonna pull back from some of these Game Pass offerings, right? We ain't gonna get any of these deals. You know what I'm saying? Everyone's got to pay the $15 a month. So yeah, you know, the thing is, I always say when it comes to gaming is, you have to go where you see the most amount of value. And for some people, that's on Nintendo consoles. Why? Because those are the type of games they get. For some people on Xbox, it's with Game Pass. And for some people on PlayStation, it's for the high quality exclusives and being able to play Japanese games at higher fidelity settings than Nintendo. But none of these companies are free from scrutiny. And I think people have to realize that and not be so tied down to a console just because it was your first or your favorite. Because look what happened with me, right? Like, I started out gaming with Nintendo, then I went to PlayStation, went back to Nintendo for a little bit, went back to PlayStation, now I'm on Xbox, but I still have everything. But just as easy as it is to jump from one ecosystem to the next, it's all about who's serving you. And if people are starting to act kind of funky and they moving a little weird, you just gonna have to make a decision, man. Let's see who else we got in here. We got Dom Slayer in the chat, not Doom Slayer. We got Dom Slayer. So this is the next villain of the Fast and Furious franchise right here. Oh, we got Atlanta in the chat. What's going on, Matt? Good to see you, bro. We got Asking Cornet 711. What football team do you root for? So usually I always root for the Packers. I like Green Bay a lot. But to be honest, like, just in the past 2 years or so, I haven't really been keeping up with football as much as I have with basketball. But it's usually always Packers, and when it's not Packers, whoever's gonna knock out the team that I don't like. So I'll always root for those teams. So, you know, depending on who it is, like, let's say for example, I didn't want the Patriots to win, I'll root for the team that is going up against the Patriots. You know what I'm saying? So it's always one of those situations, but it's primarily Green Bay. Mylan Jones, what's up, my guy? What's up? $2 from hold on one sec. Dang it, the chat keeps refreshing. $2 from Roosevelt. Neo, Tifa is still trending. Yo, so what is this thing going on with Tifa? Everyone keep talking about it. Is it there's something about Tifa being an Italian treasure now? Is it because somebody showed Tifa to the Italian government or some shit like that? I don't know, but it's funny because I'm seeing all of these memes with Tifa in Italy. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Let's see. Patrick M, what's up, my guy? We got POTC 3000. What's up? Hey Neo, you've been streaming a lot this week. Crazy news for the gaming industry. Yeah, it's been a wild one, I tell you that much. A lot of crazy shit's been happening. And we still in January, man. We got Davids G. It's been a minute. What's good? What's up, my guy? Things are going pretty swell on my end, my friend. Hopefully same for you. Let's see who else is in here. Let's see. I think we're almost caught up with folks. Then we can just do the intro and get back to business as usual. Doki Doki Gang, rise up. Jesus Christ. That's the last thing people want. Oh wow, look, $2 Australian super chat from Maddie. The chat be like, Doki Doki went. Hey man, listen, I'm trying to get through this chat, and then everyone is spamming the Doki Doki. Like I said, I appreciate the consistency from y'all. It's amazing. Y'all want this. Echoes 93, how you doing? Let's see. I think we're almost at the bottom. We got Obi in the chat. What's up? Have you ever cut down to a 10% for the beach in summer? Yeah, so I did that 2 times in my life. It was 2015 on my very first cut, and then 2018, which is I think I got down to like under 190 pounds, which is the leanest I had ever been. But yeah, honestly, I'm not really, I don't know, like provided I keep myself in decent shape throughout the year, I don't want to cut down to the point where I feel like I need to show off for other people. So for me, going to the beach, if I just go there with a flat stomach and everything is flat all around, but I still look kind of big, I'm cool with that. This whole washboard abs, you know, 6-pack for the summer, that shit ain't the wave, man. Because 6-packs for the summer essentially means you starving for the summer, man. That ain't the move. But I always tell people, get down to your leanest at what you feel really comfortable at. And that's going to be different for a lot of people. And depending on where you're at in your fitness journey, you being at 10% body fat 1 year could look completely different than a few years later after you've been training a lot and you've added more muscle. You can look very, very different. Like right now, for example, I'm technically the same weight that I was when I first started lifting like 8 years ago, but I look completely different. Completely different. So yeah, man, it's all about, you know, stripping away the fat, then adding on the muscle, and then getting down to some type of a baseline you're happy with. Let's see, we got $5 coming in from Don Otaku. Once Xbox gets to the top, Phil gonna say, did you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Oh my god, that would be fucking amazing. That would be amazing, but man, this boy Phil gotta go ahead and get some exclusive Star Wars games, because the fact that Phil Spencer let KOTOR slip away, I can't, man. How could you do this? How could you do this? KOTOR was synonymous with Xbox, and you let it go. You let it go, Phil. How could you do that, man? All right, let's see who else is in the chat. Oh, we got Grimdark. What's going on, Grimdark? Good to see you, bro. We got Stakona in the chat. What's up, Neo? The whitest white YouTube. There's definitely a few more people that are whiter than me, man. There's some people that you put them on camera, you can't even see them, man. They don't even need lighting. You just put a camera on them. It's like, damn, bro. Jesus, gotta put the brightness down. Let's see. $2 coming in from Flame. Damn, y'all blessing. I'm not even done with the intros, and y'all stay blessing it. I appreciate y'all. Tifa, not suitable for work stuff was shown during a meeting. That's what it was? Oh, I thought it was like someone just showed Final Fantasy stuff to important people in government. I thought that's what it was. Are you Oh no. Oh no, that's what, oh man, I gotta go read this later. That's insane, dude. I mean, if I'm being honest, that's not the worst thing to show, because Tifa is Tifa. Tifa was my very first. Tifa and Chun-Li were my very first video game crushes, man. So listen, you say, man, listen, man, you know what? I'm gonna keep my mouth shut. That's it. $2 coming in from Echoes 93. What should Sony do next, Neo? Actually, you know what? Echoes, I'm gonna save this and we're gonna finish up the intro, and then we're just gonna get back to business as usual, because the more time passes, there's more people coming in that I gotta shout out. So we're gonna table that for 1 second, Echoes. We got Jordan Avant in the chat. Who else is in here? We got Brian Cutler, do a podcast. It's coming, Brian. It's coming. Don't worry, man. And we got D'Angelo, Phyllis Thanos, Jesus Christ. Guitar Spud, sucks for me. I'm 460, one arm, no hair, stubby legs, albino, white. Good thing my wife loves me. Hey, man, listen. That's all it comes down to at the end of the day, man. People that love you for who you are. Life should always be about growth, whether it's in your professional life, whether it's in your personal life, whether it's in, you know, fitness, what have you. But the important thing is to never lose sight of who you are as a person and the people that love you for who you are. Okay, all right, let's see who else is in here. I think, no, we are all caught up. We are all caught up. All right, you guys, welcome Welcome to another fantastic and fabulous episode of Ask Neo. If you guys are tuning in for the first time, Ask Neo is my weekly Q&A series where you guys ask me questions and I answer them to the best of my ability. Sometimes I get through all the questions, other times Flame keeps bullying me and derailing the podcast talking about mayonnaise. I don't know, it's just, it is what it is. But yeah, there's no real type of flow or structure for this podcast. There's no real type of flow and structure for this show. It's literally just a just chatting session. You guys ask me questions, I answer them. If you want your questions answered with a bit of priority, super chats are the best way. It helps support the channel out, and you get your question answered immediately with the essence, right? And other than that, man, we have down below in the video description a couple of links of interest. So all of our social media outlets, from our Discord community to my Twitter page, twitter.com/NeoGameSpark, if you want to follow me for all my hot and spicy takes. But yeah, other than that, you guys, feel free to hang around, chill. If I don't get to your question within 15 minutes or so, feel free to repost it, because I'm not a person who wants to breeze through too many questions. I want to give a little bit of weight to my answers, which means sometimes I take 40 minutes answering a question. But I digress. This is the world that we live in. This is the world we live in, y'all. But yeah, let me go ahead and answer Echo 93's $2 super chat in regards to what Sony should do in light of Xbox purchasing Bethesda. Bethesda, Activision, Blizzard, they both have a B in it, so I'm gonna keep making this fucking it's gonna keep happening. But Xbox purchasing Activision Blizzard this week, it's prompted a lot of discussion from people speculating what should Sony do, because it's one thing that Xbox bought Bethesda. That's just one publisher. It's a major publisher, but it's not the be-all end-all. Activision Blizzard plays a huge role in the gaming industry, with one of their franchises being part of PlayStation's bottom line. Call of Duty is the most popular game out right now. It's always charting every single month on NPDs, and it makes a shit ton of revenue. And PlayStation gets a chunk of all that revenue. So now that you're mulling around the idea of maybe those games might not be available on PlayStation in the next 3 to 4 years, what is Sony to do? Now, first off, we're never going to have an exact answer of what PlayStation is going to do, considering this deal hasn't gone through yet, and we don't know the specifics of the deal. Phil Spencer has come out and said that it is our desire to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation, but the thing about this situation is until this deal goes through, they cannot legally say what their intent is. All they can do is just sort of dance around the issue, right? Because there's a lot of stuff that can happen from now until the fiscal year closes that could derail this deal. So all we can do is just speculate on the situation. Now, me personally, I think that what PlayStation needs to do is they just need to bolster the current efforts that they're doing in making blockbuster genre-defining exclusives. Because PlayStation, one thing that they are really good at is providing high-quality first-party content. And what they got out of the PlayStation 4 generation was they finally got the mass appeal for those games. Because back in the PS3 generation, sure, games like Uncharted and God of War sold, but the threshold of those games was very low by comparison to what Xbox was selling with Gears of War and Halo, right? That changed in the PS4 generation. They were able to put out games like Horizon Zero Dawn, which sold north of 10 million units. Spider-Man PS4 sold, I think, close to 20 million units. Same thing for God of War. Those are insanely high attach rates, insanely high sales numbers for the consoles, and the attach rates for PS4 consoles and games was really high too. So they were doing very well with that. And now going into the PS5 generation, you assume it's going to be business as usual, the exact same thing. They're going to focus on the high quality games, but also expand and fill in some of the gaps, like with multiplayer games. They've been investing heavily in getting multiplayer content on the PlayStation ecosystem. That was one thing they had in the PS3 generation that they kind of shot themselves in the foot, because they were launching multiple multiplayer games within the same time frame. In 2011, for example, they launched Killzone 3, SOCOM 4, Resistance 3. I think they launched Warhawk. No, not Warhawk, Starhawk in that year too. They launched a lot of multiplayer games, some of which were very similar within a year time span. And you as a consumer, you can only buy so many games that at some point it's like, okay, one of these games is going to have to die. But things are changing now in this generation as games are moving more towards a service-based approach further online. And PlayStation is they're trying to do that. They want to get more people into it. They want to have their next big hit for multiplayer games. They want to have the next big Fortnite. They want to have the next big Apex. And if you can have that exclusive to your ecosystem, that's nothing but a benefit for you. You don't have to share anything else with other with other entities. But that takes time, which is why these games that we're seeing from like Deviation Games, Fire Sprite, that's not going to be until like 2024, 2025, 2026. So it's definitely a long game. But in light of this situation, I think they need to double, triple, quadruple down on that. So I think they need to aggressively ramp up their studios. I think their studios need to start working on multiple projects at a time. And I understand there's the concern that could degrade the quality of those games. But at the same time, we don't know. Insomniac, for example, is able to put out multiple games within a like 3-4 year time span. And yes, you can argue that the quality of Insomniac games is not on the level of something like A Last of Us Part 2 or a Horizon Forbidden West. I get that, but I think you can do more. I would hate for this to be another generation where we only get 1 or 2 games out of a studio in an 8-year time span. So I think that they should expand the studios to work on multiple projects, which we're already seeing right now. Naughty Dog's working on multiple projects, factions, multiplayer. Unfortunately, that Last of Us remake and that new IP is still lingering around. And I wouldn't be surprised if they're prototyping Last of Us Part 3 or an Uncharted. But yeah, stuff like that, maybe working with second parties to pass around their legacy IPs. I would love to see them bring back Legend of Dragoon, whether that's going to be in-house or with another studio. I think that'd be fantastic. Maybe let another developer work on something like Jak and Daxter. Maybe we can get a Jak 4. I know a lot of folks want Naughty Dog to work on Jak, but the Naughty Dog of today is not the Naughty Dog of 16, 17 years ago when the last Jak game came out. So I think people, they really have to, the talent that is being attracted to Naughty Dog right now, or what attracts people to Naughty Dog to work for them, is stuff like Uncharted and The Last of Us, not Jak and Daxter, unfortunately. But there's a lot of people out there who would love to do that. Similar to the Activision Blizzard situation, why don't you let Toys for Bob work on a Banjo-Kazooie game? You know what I'm saying? So why don't you let another studio work on Sly Cooper? Give us a Sly Cooper 5, you know? And who's to say that some of this stuff isn't already in production? It could be, for all we know. But I don't think PlayStation needs to buy a publisher. They don't need to buy Square Enix. They don't need to do any of this stuff. But I think they just need to keep striking these deals to get these games exclusive to their platform that can give people appeal, right? Like, that makes the console more enticing. Which they've already done a really good job at, but they just have to keep doing that, because losing Call of Duty is a really, really big. That if they do lose it, mind you, everything is tentative. I don't even personally think they're going to lose the free-to-play Call of Duty, but I wouldn't be surprised if Call of Duty ditches the annual approach and we only get it every 2-3 years. That might be exclusive to Xbox and PC versus multi-platform, a la Warzone. So hopefully that answered your question, Echoes. Let me know. Video game lover, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Let's see. So just going through the super chats real quick. $2 super chat from Flame. Mayo, sir, toilet water, silly straw gang. We here. Nah, man, you were on that mayo flow before Don Otaku took over that. So now you're with the toilet water. Don Otaku's with the mayo. We got a $6.99 Canadian super chat from Colin, my boy. Thank you, sir. What are some examples of adaptations that were completely different from the source material that still ended up being faithful? I mean, to be honest, you could say a lot of the recent Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. Take something like Captain America Civil War. Outside of the premise of the government versus superheroes and the concept of the Superhero Registration Act, it was a completely different story. All they did was just take the themes and the beats of that story and they adapted it into their universe. And honestly, I actually liked the movie version a lot more, because it didn't have some of your heroes acting completely out of character. Anyone who's read the Civil War comic, even though it is epic in a grand scale and it has like so many working pieces, what they did to the character of Tony Stark, that really damaged the character's credibility. And it wasn't until the first Iron Man movie that people were like, oh, I like Iron Man again. It really fucks shit up. So a lot of the recent Marvel movies are like that. You know, Logan, perfect example for that. Any really successful comic book movie makes major deviations to the source material because it has to work within the context of the story they're trying to tell. But I always say you don't need to make a page for page adaptation when you're adapting something. That's asinine, and with very few exceptions, it's really boring. What you need to do is you just need to be faithful to the spirit of the source material. Like, what is it about this story that people love, and why is this story so revered? And I think that's how you can get stories like, you know, the Nolan trilogy. Well, the first two parts of the Nolan trilogy. That's how you can get stuff like Captain America Civil War. That's how you can get things like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, Into the Spider-Verse. Things like that where, yes, it feels like the comics, but at the same time, it's its own thing and it feels extremely fresh. So yeah, like any of those recent ones is really good. All right. Okay, and so we got two super chats coming in. We got two $10 super chats coming in from the homie John McKinney. Thank you so much for that, bro. Appreciate it. Good seeing you. Should Sony and Microsoft bring back online play for the PlayStation 2 and the original Xbox? Many people who grew up in the late 90s and early 2000s, I know, still play PS2 and Xbox multiplayer games. And the second part's another question, which I'll save for later. But yeah, to answer the first part of this, John McKinney, I mean, here's the thing. Both of them have experimented in bringing back, you know, online portions of those PS2 games. I know when Sony did the PS2 to PS4, I believe they brought back online support for stuff like Ratchet Deadlocked. And they've done it for like some smaller games here and there. But the thing about those games, man, and this lends itself to the entire topic of backwards compatibility. Those type of moves are only going to benefit a very, 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 very small amount of individuals. Extremely niche, my friend. Like, listen, I love playing those games as much as anybody else, but they don't make a lot of money for these companies. Xbox with their backwards compatibility approach, that was a labor of love. The entire backwards compatibility team and what they were able to pull off in the past 7 years is nothing short of incredible. But I would not be surprised if Microsoft came out and said that we didn't really make a lot of money off of this. In fact, I think they probably lost money going ahead and having to do the R&D and then working with licensing these games so they can put them out on the service again. So yeah, when we talk about those things, like, okay, I want you to bring back these old games. There's already going to be the R&D that's going to go into bringing those games forward. Then you have to bring servers for those games, and then you have to justify the cost of all those things. And for a lot of these companies, it's not worth it. They much rather invest that into something else. Now, I would love for them to maybe do like a reimagining of some of those old games. I think that would be very awesome if we can get those type of games brought back. But then you have to weigh out the logistics. Like, do we really want to do a reimagining of an old game, or do we want to do something completely fresh? But the best approach for those type of situations, John McKinney, would definitely be online on PC, because a lot of communities go ahead and they do stuff like that. And I want to apologize. These weren't two of the same super chats from John McKinney. They were one from John McKinney and one from Don Otaku. It's just that you guys both have dark avatars and you both donated $10, so it's all yellow. I apologize for that. But yeah, so the next super chat is $10 coming in from Don Otaku. Just got fired 2 days ago. Somewhat my fault, but my manager was looking for reasons. With this extra time, I am about to finally start making games content and go further with my music. Wish me luck. Oh man, Don Otaku. So first things first, man, I'm sorry about that situation, whatever it is, bro. If you want to DM and talk to me about it later, we can. But yeah, I know the feeling about having managers who do some fuck shit like that. I was actually talking to one of my boys about, because, you know, we work for the same company. And he was thinking about transferring to an entirely different department in that company, just because the time that he's put in here and with how opinionated he is of how they're running things, he knows that if they can't fire him, because he's a good employee, if they can't fire him from that, they'll find another reason. That's just a lot of businesses in general. But yeah, man, you know, I always say that in situations like that, as terrible of a situation as it is, if you can find some type of silver lining, in your case right here, it's going to be getting back to you with your music content and now getting into gaming content. You don't know what type of like doors will open for you. I'm not saying that, okay, yes, you got fired from your job and now you have all this different success, but now you have the opportunity to finally not give it a chance, but give yourself a chance. A lot of people out there do not give themselves the opportunity or the chance to really go all in, and there's a lot of reasons why. But now that you have that opportunity, man, I'm really excited for you. If you want like my opinion on some things, definitely DM me the stuff and I'll give you my unprofessional opinion. But yeah, Godspeed to you, Don Otaku. I wish you nothing but the best, my friend. Let's see. Oh, okay, I'm glad that answered your question, Echoes. Cool. Let's see. Came in late but love the streams. I appreciate that, HD Boom Bap. Thank you. And my phone keeps going off because, you know, they have the Google Assistant and everything. Oh, and shout out to our newest Patreon member, Kid Stupefy. Thank you so much for that, my friend, if you're watching. So yeah, my phone, because it has the Google Assistant, every time it hears my voice and I say certain things, it's like, were you talking to me? But shout out to everybody joining in. We got the homie GC Plugs. What's up, Bobby? We got Rhino in the chat. Just got back from paying my dues. Officially down 101 pounds and now muscle growth. Call of Duty will benefit from a non-rush annual system. So shout out to my boy Rhino242 checking in from Queens, my guy. Speaking of which, you guys know it's stream time. Where y'all checking in from? Where y'all watching this stream from? We coming at y'all from New York State, not the city, but the state itself. You got to make that distinction. And if y'all are enjoying the stream, make sure you hit that like button. It helps out the channel tremendously. Let's see. Grimdark says Mark Millar is an edgelord anyway. Prefer the Civil War movie. Yeah, man, he definitely has done a lot of questionable things with his writing, man. That's part of the reason why, not that it was him specifically, but I've noticed that a lot of comic artists, when they get a really inflated ego, they think they can go ahead and make some really strange things and have characters acting out of character because of their own, like they insert their own worldview of things, which sometimes that's not a bad thing if that's the story you want to tell. But if it's something that's established, like, okay, this is Iron Man, we know how Iron Man is, why are you making him act like this? Let's see. All right, so Bryce says, Neo, do you have any tips for someone who's trying to bulk up? I am currently 175 pounds, and even though I've put on 10 pounds of muscle over the last year of lifting, I'm finding it hard to gain any more weight. Honestly, Bryce, my best answer to this is, well, it's kind of complicated, but if you're trying to bulk up, you have to eat more than you expend in energy. So if you're struggling to gain weight, you just have to make a conscious effort to eat more. Now, I'm not saying to stuff yourself. I'm not saying to go ahead and just eat like nothing but pizza, ho-hos, Twinkies, stuff like that. But you need to examine exactly what you've been eating throughout the course of a day and look at how much energy you're expending. And also look at the other factors in your life. Are you working a really demanding job that has you on your feet constantly? Like if you're working a manual labor job and you're lifting and you're doing cardio, your caloric needs is going to be much higher than someone who sits at a desk job and works out. So you have to look at those things, right? And then you have to also look at how you're feeling in the gym. If you're not gaining weight, are you gaining strength? Like, do you still feel strong? Do your workouts feel sluggish? Because if your workouts are feeling sluggish and you're not gaining weight, then you're not eating enough food. So look at a lot of those factors in your life and just focus on eating more. A lot of people, the biggest thing that's holding them back from growing is eating, because a lot of people are worried that, oh, I'm going to get fat. The thing about this lifting journey is that you can't just like be scared of a little bit of a weight gain. You can't, because with that muscle, there is going to come some fat. But if you prioritize your goals at the time, you can make it so you minimize that fat. Like me, for example, right now I'm in a growing phase, so I'm making a conscious effort to get 5 meals a day. Is it a struggle? Absolutely. Are there some days where I only eat 3 meals a day? Yes, but I try to make it a weekly average of me being at like a certain level of calories, right? So if, like, let's say one day, because my normal caloric intake, but this is the craziest part, guys, believe it or not, my normal caloric intake, what I need to maintain my size right now is I have to be at 3,000 calories. And if I want to grow, I have to be at 3,500. If I want to lose, I have to be at 2,700. Now, getting to 3,000 calories might sound really easy if you're eating pizza and ice cream, but when you're trying to keep it mostly clean, it is a bit of a struggle. So if I don't wake up every morning and start eating like after my workout, it's gonna be rough, because you don't want to eat like right before you go to bed or whatever, but sometimes you might have to. Like yesterday, I didn't get to bed until like 3 o'clock. It was 2 a.m. You guys want to know what I did? I was hungry. I went downstairs, I made myself an egg omelet and had a big bowl of cereal. A big bowl of cereal. And then I went to the gym in the morning. I had today I had one of the best workouts of my life, man. It was crazy. So yeah, man, it's just, you got to focus. You got to prioritize that and make sure you're eating. You have to eat, get your protein in, get your carbs in, get your fats in. Just eat, my friend. Do not be afraid to gain a little weight. It'll help you in the long run. We got a £2 super chat coming in from, I'm sorry if I mispronounced this, my friend, Tino Tenda Mungoshi. Who's going to buy Sony? Amazon, Google, or Tencent? Ooh, so, I mean, here's the thing. I don't want any of those companies to purchase PlayStation. I am kind of worried more about Tencent, because Tencent has been getting their tendrils in a lot of different companies. And that's what worries me the most, because Tencent, they move very, very silently. They don't go ahead and make major acquisitions. They make acquisitions and investments in things that you're not really going to blink an eye at. Like they went ahead and they bought Sumo Digital. Sure, some people are like, oh, I don't like Chinese companies buying stuff, but they're not going to worry about that. But then they start getting minority stakes in some companies. And then they keep adding in more of those minority stakes until they become majority stakes. That's when you have to worry about it. But right now, Tencent is letting things run business as usual. It is what it is. But when you have a foreign entity buying up a lot of these companies, or at least having a controlling interest, there's going to come a point where, and this is true of any company, where they're not, if you say something that does not gel, that don't vibe with them, trust me, they're going to be sending some emails saying you can't say this. And it's already starting to happen. And it's already starting to happen with some companies that are owned by foreign entities, and the things that they can say in those video games. And you guys already know the examples. So I wouldn't want Tencent to buy them. Google, just the way that Google's handled Stadia, for example, I don't think they know anything about gaming. I'd say Amazon's probably the safest bet, if there is one. But the thing is, if they bought them, I don't think they need to let them run business as usual. Maybe they free them from the shackles of independent responsibilities and liabilities that come from not being owned by somebody. But yeah, I don't really think they should change much about the companies and how they operate. But yeah, Phil Spencer was talking about that. He says he fears outside tech giants getting into gaming, which I think is very funny, because Microsoft started as an outside entity, a tech giant getting into gaming. But he's speaking more from the modern aspect of, okay, well, we've been in gaming at least for 20 years, so we know what we're doing, versus all these other companies that have no idea of how this works. But yeah, man, I mean, the thing is, I'm just gonna enjoy gaming as much as I can. And I know a lot of people say, well, how could you enjoy gaming if it's owned by this and owned by that? I'm like, fam, if you knew exactly the people in all these companies and these high-level executives and the stuff that they do behind the scenes, you would not support any type of entertainment. Like, let's just be real about life for a second. The stuff that happened with old buddy Harvey Weinstein, I guarantee you he's not the only person out there. It's just not what's being reported. That's the thing a lot of people got to realize, you know? Let's see. Okay, so Jordan, I'm gonna tell you this right now, man. Don't go ahead and spam some stuff, or else the mods are gonna time you out for that. But to answer your question, I have not seen either of those series that you're talking about. Stadia, yeah, Google Stadia, man. I mean, that's do you guys remember when Google Stadia was gonna go ahead and become the next great console? Oh, I got your name right? Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Every now and then, like, 'cause I'm always like, yo, you got to teach me how to pronounce your names if I ever get that wrong. That's why I always apologize in advance. But I'm glad I got that the first time. But y'all remember that Google Stadia when they were like, yeah, you ain't gonna need a PlayStation 5. You're not gonna need an Xbox Series. It's all Google Stadia, man. Oh boy, remember that, bro. $6.99 Canadian super chat from Colin, my boy. What is your favorite romantic comedy in anime or manga? What do you think makes a romance work between two characters in any story? Oh, great question, Colin. So my all-time favorite rom-com is Toradora. It's a romantic comedy, slice of life anime about high school students. Surprise, surprise. Came out like, well, the manga came out like over, not the manga, but the light, wasn't it a light novel beforehand? I don't know. I watched the anime. That's all I care about. But yeah, it came out like in the late 2000s, like I think what, 2008, 9, 10, around there. And it's just a really nice slice of life, slow burn romance series. And I think what makes them really work is you have to write compelling characters and have extremely compelling dialogue. The thing about a lot of rom-coms is that, and this happens with any type of story, whether it's rom-coms or high fantasy, you can run into tropes, heavy tropes. And sometimes tropes aren't a bad thing, you know? But it's all about how it's handled and executed. One thing I really liked about Toradora is that they didn't, like, it starts going one way with the characters and how they act, but then it slowly starts veering in the other direction. And it takes its time with that, so it doesn't seem extremely abrupt. So everything, like with most stories, it comes down to writing compelling characters and compelling dialogue, and that's something that a lot of these stories tend to miss because they go for the really superficial like aspects of the stories, like hashtag will they won't they, and that is one trope that I cannot stand in series that spend the entire, like, you know that these two characters like each other, but it spends the entirety of its length just teasing you whether or not this is going to go down, is this going to happen, blah blah blah. In the case of Toradora, I'm not going to spoil it, but it slowly shows the characters and their growing love and respect for one another, and that is something I think we need to get back to. We need to get back to telling those type of stories, but unfortunately it's much easier to sell stories, as far as it pertains to romance, sell stories that are about like, oh, I'll find a way to fix him, or sell stories about trauma in relationships and yada yada yada, which is just irritating. But Toradora, I liked it because it takes those tropes and it makes them like, yeah, you know they're tropes, but it's the way they're handled is what matters. Like, the main girl is a tsundere type, right? But at the same time, you can see the vulnerabilities that exist, and you see her start to come out of her shell, as opposed to, I'm going to be this type of really one-dimensional character for the entire series until the very end. You know, I hate when they do shit like that. But yeah, like, I'm a big sucker for rom-coms, man. Is Toradora better than Clannad? It's kind of hard to compare the two, Kramer, because they're very similar because they both deal with high school students. But Clannad is, I can't watch Clannad that often because Clannad is just such, it's one of those series that it starts out as a nice, like, slice of life comedy anime, and then it veers into romantic, but it becomes really, really depressing. And it just, it's probably the most realistic romance anime I've seen out there, because there's just some aspects about life that happen to us, and we always think they're never gonna tell a story like this. Oh my god, they told a story like this. I can't, man. The last time I watched Clannad was 2012, and I don't think I could go back, man. That show broke me. And it's one of those things where you listen to the music in the show and it's awesome in the beginning, and then at the end of the show you're like, why are you playing this theme? Terrible, man. Let's see. Yeah, Toradora is awesome, Taichi. I love it. Neo, you would like Golden Time. I've heard a lot of good things about Golden Time. Did you get that OLED yet? So I was originally going to buy the LG C1 because I got a lot of gift cards over the holiday season, and I was like, yeah, let me put this towards that LG C1. But honestly, I'm gonna wait a couple of months because they just announced that LG C2, and if I'm gonna be spending that much money anyway, I might as well get the latest model. You know what I'm saying? Or see if the C1 drops to a really low price. But yeah, I'd only buy a new TV or should I say, I'd only buy the latest year model around the time it comes out. But if it's literally like, we're gonna announce the new one and this is when it's coming out, I'll be like, all right, I'll just wait. I'll save up an extra couple $100, you know, because I know that C2 is not gonna be cheap. Say Neo, have you still been working on your Death Note project? I noticed from the old ass Neo Q&As. Yeah, so for some people don't know, like 10, 11, 12 years ago, I wrote a spec script for Death Note, right? I was basically, when they were floating around the idea of a live action Death Note, I was thinking, let me find a way to adapt Death Note in a modern setting. And I used the same basic beats from the anime, but I made it in a way where, okay, it can be told in one movie, right? Well, obviously it'd be a couple of different movies, but I basically adapted it from screenplay because I was taking a creative writing class, I believe, in my junior or senior year of high school. But that script, I haven't done anything with it in the past 10 years. But I mean, nowadays, the way Netflix be greenlighting things left and right, I mean, listen, if they can greenlight all these random shows on Netflix, I have to throw my hat into the ringer. You know what I'm saying? But no, I haven't touched that project in a long time, man. Let's see. Oh, wow. We got, 3 $5 super chats back to back. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. So we have $4.99 coming in from our homie J World. Thank you so much, bro. Good to see you. If Pokemon was real, would you let your 10-year-old leave town solo or monitor him? Also, what content do you post on Patreon, bro? Might as well do an OnlyFans. Oh, this man said an OnlyFans? Jesus Christ. Okay, so to answer the first part of the question, would I let my 10-year-old leave town? Honestly, you know, yeah, I let him do that. Because, I mean, I look at it like this. If it's the norm and it doesn't seem like anyone's died yet, then fuck yeah, my kid can go out there, become a Pokemon master. And hey, listen, that leaves the crib wide open for me to do whatever I want to do. Like, he gonna take care of himself. You know, I'll pack him a couple of pairs of underwear. I'll give him like a 12 pack of underwear. That should last for him a while. You know, I'm sure he can wash him in a river, use a laundromat, you know, wear him inside out. Like, he can make that shit work. Hey, you know, that's what I call character building, J World. So I would definitely let him do that. I wouldn't even monitor him, man. No Apple Watch, none of this shit, bro. As far as the content I post on Patreon, I mean, Patreon is just basically, right now, it's just a regular way to support me if you don't want to do it through like the super chats or whatever. But I do have like other tiers where if people request videos that they want to do, they can do that on there. And no, I'm not going to be doing an OnlyFans at all. I mean, you know, now I think about it, maybe I should start OnlyFans. But my OnlyFans would be some random shit like, hey, this is my kitchen and this is me cooking inside my kitchen. Here's how I make my recipes. I wouldn't be doing any of that wild shit on OnlyFans. I'm gonna leave that for you, J World. You and your homeboy on y'all's podcast. That's something y'all can do. $5 coming in from Don Otaku. Clannad was my first slice of life anime. I cried for 9 episodes straight. Yeah, okay, so for some of y'all, I know there's a lot of anime fans in the chat right now. Oh no, I just said Neo OnlyFans and the chat is going wild. Oh no. Relax. Hey, take it easy. Y'all take it easy. All of y'all need to relax. But anywho, if you guys haven't watched, well, if you're an anime fan and you haven't watched Clannad, I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite series, but at the same time, it's extremely, extremely depressing. It's one of those shows where you think you know where it's going, and then it's like, wow, how could you do this to me? It's very sad, man. I remember when I first watched it, because that was the first time I felt like this, like my heart sinking into my stomach. I don't even know if that analogy makes sense, but that's how it felt. $5 coming in from Marcus Doyle Terrell. What do you think of the Peacemaker series? Also, how well do you think the Harry Potter movies hold up? So yeah, Peacemaker, I'm really, really digging Peacemaker, man. I mean, it's very, very gratuitous. There's a lot of F-bombs. There's a lot of just random shit that they're only doing because they don't have to adhere to a PG-13 rating. But it's great. It's James Gunn unhinged. And that's one thing I really like about the series. It's just unabashedly James Gunn. And I'm liking where the story is going so far, man. I mean, stories like Peacemaker, The Boys, things like that, I always gravitate towards more than just, you know, just the run-of-the-mill stuff. Like, here's the thing. I like the Disney Plus shows. I really do. But I feel like we're doing more. We're breaking more ground with stuff like Invincible, The Boys, and Peacemaker than we are the stuff on Disney Plus. Like, it's just that limitation that we're getting. But Peacemaker is really awesome. It's got a fantastic intro if you guys haven't checked it out yet. And I can't wait for next week's episode. And I just got done watching episode 4 last night. Let's see. How well do you think the Harry Potter movies hold up? You know what the funny thing is, Marcus? They hold up surprisingly well, and I was very surprised because I watch the Harry Potter movies every 5 years or so, so that's something that I do myself. So my most favorite content of all time, I always watch it every half decade to see if I either notice anything new about how I feel about it, or to see like how it stands the test of time. I do that with Harry Potter, I do that with Star Wars. And yeah, I rewatched all the Harry Potter movies last year, and dude, they hold up really, really well. Of course, you know, the special effects in the first 2 movies are extremely dated because, you know, they were rushing to get those movies made. And even if you were listening to the interviews at the time, they were saying, yeah, we really wish we had an extra 6 months to fine-tune the special effects. But if we're talking about the content in terms of the script writing and even the acting, like for child actors, they did a pretty damn good job, especially by comparison to the other child actors that were out there. And yeah, man, like once you start getting into like Prisoner of Azkaban and where things start to get really dark, it's great stuff, man. But one thing I did notice upon my rewatch was I kind of long for an animated adaptation of Harry Potter that goes ahead and it tells a lot of the stuff in the books that we didn't see. So one thing I would love to see is like an animated series, maybe on HBO Max, that explores Voldemort during, you know, the story of Half-Blood Prince, because that was one of the biggest missteps of that film. They completely glossed over everything that happened with Voldemort when Voldemort's backstory was that was the book. If there was ever a book to explain everything about Voldemort and where he came from, it was going to be that story. And they didn't do that in the movie. They gave you like 2 scenes and then they focused way too much on the romance between the characters, which I don't have a problem with because, you know, these are the main characters, but there needed to be a better balance of the two, which is why I'm always hoping, like, I remember when Harry Potter finished up, I was like, no, they don't need to reboot Harry Potter. But, you know, here we are 10 years later, and I'm like, you know, maybe an animated series would be great. And an animated series, you know, it could look distinct. It could look as distinct as how visually striking those old movies looked. Like, straight up, dude, I still love the look of Hogwarts. And the fact that the first 2 movies absolutely nailed the look of the world, that is extremely beneficial long term, because then when you go into something like Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 and you see Hogwarts being destroyed, just think back when you first saw it in Philosopher's Stone, and then here you are 10 years later and you're like, wow, that hits, bro. That hits. Let's see. Oh, what's going on, Asbellant? What's up, Asbellant? We got Joel Avery in the chat. We got Chief Master. We got Amazing JD. What's going on, guys? Good to see you. We got Beto Rhodes in the chat. We got Alan V. What's up, y'all? Okay, so $5 from Don Otaku. The things Neo could do with mayonnaise on OnlyFans. Listen, you better relax, Don Otaku. You better relax. Does your wife know you're thirsting after another man with mayonnaise on OnlyFans? Shit, man, I'm about to DM your wife right now. I'll be like, hey, yo, go get your husband. But knowing your wife, she'd probably be like, nah, he's good. Ooh, we got a nice $20 super chat coming in from the homie Julius. Just wanted to send you some bread because I appreciate your maturity / takes on topics. Keep up the great work, brother. I appreciate that, Julius. Thank you so much, bro. And I hope you and your fam, your loved ones are doing well, man. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of sad that maturity, level-headedness in the gaming community is kind of it's kind of like you're in a minority. But yeah, man, I just, you know, that whole sensationalist shit, it's fun every now and then to see other people do it, but nah, man, you gotta have a lot of level-headed stuff. You gotta have level-headedness to a lot of things in life. And that way, if you're very level-headed about things, you don't get wrapped up in a lot of problems. Because a lot of the problems that exist nowadays, I guarantee you it's because somebody did not take a breath and just examine all the options. I firmly believe that. Have you played all of the Batman games? And if so, which one is your fave? So yeah, I've played through all of the Batman games. Well, I've played through 3.75 of the Batman games. I played through Arkham Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and most of Arkham Knight. The thing about Arkham Knight is, like, when it got to the end game portion, I had to tap out, bro. I had to tap out. It was not hooking me the way the other games in the series did. It's got a lot of good stuff about it, but man. But yeah, if I had to pick a favorite one, my favorite of all time is going to be Arkham City. I feel like that is another example of like one of the perfect sequel games. Told a really good story, expanded the world, but at the same time, I've always got mad nostalgia for the first Arkham game, man. Arkham Asylum, like, dude, oh my god. And let's tap in if you guys remember this. Do you guys remember when that Arkham Asylum demo dropped? I'll never forget this, because I was on Xbox 360. And I remember one of my boys was just like, because we were in the party, half of us were playing Call of Duty Zombies, and the other half was just chilling. Because we come from an era where we used to turn on our Xboxes just to talk. Like, some of us weren't even playing games; we would just be on there talking to folks. So we were on there playing Zombies, and one of my boys, he was like mashing the controller like crazy, and we're just like, "Yo, bro, what's happening?" He's like, "I'm playing this Batman game, bro." And back then, Batman, like, superhero games, they weren't much of anything, man. They were guilty pleasures. He was like, yeah, I'm playing this Batman Arkham Asylum game, man. Download the demo. I said, I bet I'll download it. So I downloaded the demo, and I was like, yo, this is pretty hot, bro. And mind you, I didn't see like any trailers for this game. I wasn't looking for Batman Arkham Asylum. But I played through that demo. I saw the graphics. I saw the combat. I was like, what? And so immediately after that, the game was on my radar, and I was like, okay, I got to get this Arkham Asylum game, man. I got to get this. And I remember the day it came out, I went to Target and I bought the game straight up, man. I played that demo. I was like, I'm getting this game day one, $60. And mind you, this is $60 to a 16-year-old, man. So that was a lot of money. So I bought it, came home, started playing it. Bro, it's still one of my fondest video game memories, man. Because I had never just jumped the gun and bought a game like that based off the demo. Usually I'd wait a few months for it to go on sale, because as a kid, and around that time, that was before I started working, so I didn't have that much money. The only money I had was from birthdays, or money I had left over from like Christmas or doing chores. So I was like, yo, I gotta make sure my money lasts a long time. But I bought that, and I do not regret that, man. It was so much fun. I'm so nostalgic for it. Even now, I want to go back and replay those games. I really do. And I kind of wish that they were FPS boosted on Xbox, because they have the Arkham collection on there, but they're not FPS boosted, which really sucks, man. Those games being stuck at 30 frames is a pain. But I have it on PC, so if I ever wanted to, I could just fire it up on Steam. But yeah, man, I love Arkham City so much, and Arkham Origins. Listen, Arkham Origins gets a lot of flack, for the right reasons. It should not have launched in the state that it did. They prioritized DLC over fixing the game. But I thought that the story in Arkham Origins was really good. I love the boss fights. I really enjoyed the different takes on Batman and the Joker. It was just a very solid game, marred with a whole bunch of other controversy. But yeah, what about you guys? What's your favorite Arkham game? And do you guys have any fond memories of, just buying a game off of a whim and just loving it? Like, I love those kind of stories. $4.99 coming in from Corey Gryffindor. So, spoilers for Spider-Man No Way Home. With the past films included, would you say those films are now part of the MCU, or they just exist in the multiverse of the MCU? So, yeah, a lot of people are, with the release of Spider-Man No Way Home, and the fact that, spoiler alert, for a movie that has made almost $2 billion, the fact that we have both Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's universes in the MCU, some folks are saying that, okay, does that mean that Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 1 is the very first MCU movie? And I don't like to think like that. I don't think it's as binary as, okay, since Tobey Maguire was first, that means it's the first. I think that it just exists in the multiverse of the MCU. And based off what we're hearing from some of the reports for Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, it's about to get wild. So I think this discussion of what is the very first MCU movie based off of which actor is in there and what their movies were, I don't think it's as easy as that. I think it should just exist in the multiverse. So for me, the very first MCU movie will obviously be Iron Man. And Core Gryffindor, my guy, it is always good to see you, my friend. Oh, and speaking of which, Core Gryffindor, I have an update for you on that Kingdom Hearts stuff. So your boy has been grinding away at getting to get my level all the way up, man, and unlocking the Keyblades. So those boss battles are in progress, man. I've been putting some time into Kingdom Hearts 3. Putting some time to Kingdom Hearts 3 to get all that stuff ready for those boss fights, bro. So yes, progress is being done, my friend. I do like a little bit, like, you know, I spend an hour or two every other day to get that shit. Oh, you guys enjoy the background music? That's awesome. So if you guys want the background music, it is literally just called Zelda and Chill. You guys can look that up on YouTube. Incorrect. The first MCU movie is the Hulk. I mean, like, when you get into the logistics of things, like, it's just Iron Man, bro. It's always gonna be Iron Man, man. It's gonna be Iron Man. That's the first MCU movie. That's the first one. Alrighty. Zelda Chill is the best chill. Absolutely, bro. Anyone remember when they had demo game CDs on the PS1, PS2? Yo, do you guys remember when we used to buy those magazines back in the day for the demo discs? Oh, I know y'all remember that. I remember I bought, I forgot what gaming magazine it was, but this gaming magazine, it had a demo CD, and on that demo CD, it had, what was this? Okay, so it had a demo for that One Piece Grand Battle game. You guys remember that one? It had a demo for that one. It had, I think, a snowboarding game demo, and it had this random, like, M-rated game. It wasn't Beyond, no, it wasn't Beyond Good and Evil, but it was something, like, really, I forgot the title of it. Let me see if I can find it up, or look it up. Hold on. I remember. Okay, here it is. All right, I knew, because I knew the subtitle for the game for the longest time, but I couldn't remember the actual name of it. But on this demo disc, it had that One Piece game, it had a snowboarding game, and it had a demo for The Suffering Ties That Bind. I remember playing through that, and I was like, "Whoa, this is so graphic." Because remember, my mom, Abisha mom. She's like, "Oh, no, you can't have any type of mature games." Oh, no, like, bro, just to put it in perspective for y'all, I remember renting Call of Duty 3 on the Nintendo Wii from Blockbuster, Call of Duty 3. And my mom came in and she saw me playing that shit. And she was like, no, we're taking this back now. And bro, it's not like I was able to rent another game. I used one of my rental coupons to rent Call of Duty, and I never got that back. So literally, I got to play for an hour, and that was it, man. I was so pissed off. I was so pissed off, man. 13-year-old Neo. Your Kingdom Hearts 3 review is one of my favorites. Oh, I appreciate that, Chris. Yeah, it meant a lot to me, man, because Kingdom Hearts means a lot to me. Oh, shit. Yeah. I can't wait to see that drawn, bro. Can't wait to see that drawn. One Piece Grand Battle Asbel. I know Asbelon would know that, definitely. But I remember that. Some of them old school anime games were fun, bro. But you know what the thing is? I remember everyone's collective distaste for when they launched Dragon Ball Z Sagas. And you remember Dragon Ball Z Sagas, they was hyping that game up. They was hyping that game up like the very first open world Dragon Ball Z game, the very first American-made Dragon Ball Z game, like some crazy shit. And then the game came out and it was just booty juice. Man. $10 super chat from Don Otaku. In 2014, I was so hyped to get Forza Horizon 2. The day before release, I was reading reviews for it, and of course they were great, but there was another game coming the same day that I never heard of. Why do I keep saying... Hold on. My brain... is bugging right now because I'm looking at like multiple things all at once. So $10 from chat from Don Otaku. In 2014, I was so hyped to get Forza Horizon 2. The day before release, I was reading reviews for it, and of course they were great, but there was another game coming the same day I never heard of. Continued. That game was Shadow of Mordor. After like 3 videos, I ended up going to GameStop the next day and buying both games. I don't even like Lord of the Rings. Yeah, dude. Shadow of Mordor, and thank you so much for the super chats, Down Otaku. I appreciate it, bro. Shadow of Mordor was like the last big sleeper hit we saw in the games industry. I remember no one was really looking forward to that game, man. And then all of a sudden, it's like one person starts playing it, is like, yo, this shit is really good. And then they tell their friend, and their friend tells another friend, and that friend does a YouTube video, and then we all start watching it, and then it just spirals from there. Very, very, very underrated. Well, it's not really underrated because everybody knows about it now. But it was a very big sleeper hit back in 2014. And it came at a time where there really wasn't much to play on these next-gen consoles. You had, like, Destiny. And that was it, really. Well, no, you had Destiny and Knack. You can't forget Knack. Never forget Knack. Never. But yeah, it was a sleeper hit, man. Now, mind you, I never played I played like the first couple hours of the sequel, but it didn't hook me the same way the first one did. There was something so pure and innocent and contained with the first game, and then the second game they just did a whole bunch of other wild shit. But yeah, good times, man. And I don't think there's been a sleeper game on that level until we had Guardians of the Galaxy, which came out last year. That was a game that, unlike Shadow of Mordor, where people weren't talking about it, people were talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, but in a very bad way, because all the trailers look like ass, bro. But then you get the game and you're like, wow, this game is actually really good. It was extremely surprising, man. And if you haven't played Guardians of the Galaxy, please do. I know I was harping on it during the marketing, but it's one of the best games of the past couple of years, and it has one of the strongest stories and narratives in a game. And it's like the visual animations. Oh man, it's so good. The facial animations and shit, bro. Are you excited for WWE 2K22? I'll be excited for a wrestling game when they get their shit together, because wrestling games have not been it for a long time. For as much of a meme as it is, Among Us was slept on for 2 years before the boom. Yeah, that was the craziest realization, because I remember when Among Us blew up, everyone was like, yo, this new game Among Us, but then when you look back on it, it's like, oh wow, this has been out for a while. But honestly, sometimes it's about the circumstances of the situation. Among Us really blew up because everybody was in quarantine and they were looking for some new content because everything kept getting delayed. We were all indoors, we were trying to entertain ourselves, and then boom, you have Among Us, you have Fall Guys. Well, Fall Guys was a new game, but you know, similar concepts of like, hey, getting together with your friends and having fun. But yeah, it's shit, man. They're doing good stuff with Among Us, man. A lot of updates. Yes, that Nemesis system in Shadow of Mordor was fantastic. It's kind of sad though that they patented that, which means that going forward they're the only studio that can make those kind of games, which is not a bad thing because we're getting Wonder Woman from them. But still, could you imagine if we had a Nemesis system in something like Blade, like Marvel's Blade with a Nemesis system, and you take down different vampires? Dude, that would be awesome. I'm not sure how a Nemesis system would work in Wonder Woman. Like, you could just take down random gods, or how's that gonna work? I don't know. Oh, shout out to Daniel Packby for re-upping his membership. Appreciate you, my guy. Appreciate you. I remember playing GTA 3 for the first time at 11 years old and thinking it was a game from the future. Oh man, that must have been nice. I remember, dude, man. Like I never got a chance to really grow up playing those games when they came out, because you know, my mom was very strict growing up. So by the time I got a chance to play San Andreas, I was like 15, 16 years old, you know, which by that point it's kind of like, oh man. And by that point GTA 4 had come out, so I was like, damn. But it was still a lot of fun experiencing something like that. And to this day, I mean, you know, Rockstar has improved upon their games in so many different ways, but just going back to like how chaotic those old school GTA games used to be, oh man, definition of fun. Hey Neo, if Chrono Trigger ever got remade, should it be like the Final Fantasy VII Remake, or should it be like Octopath Traveler's art style? Honestly, Jonathan, I have such a special place in my heart for Chrono Trigger that I'd want it to be done like Octopath Traveler. I think that's the easiest approach. They don't have to change too much. They just have to, you know, up-res the visuals and all that good stuff, modernize the controls. I think when you make it something like the FF7 Remake, you run the risk of having to change so much about it. And I think the reason Chrono Trigger still stands the test of time for today, till today, is because of its story, you know. And I don't think you need to take the story of Chrono Trigger and drag it out to 3-4 installments. I don't think that needs to happen. I think there is room in the industry to have something like an FF7 remake and something like a Chrono Trigger remake, which is done 2D HD. So that's what I would personally want. What if Ghost of Tsushima had an infamous system? An infamous system. I mean, it's not a bad idea. That would add for some replayability to the game. I'm really interested to see what they do with the inevitable like sequel to Ghost of Tsushima. I wonder, man. Like me and my boy Rob were talking about this. Hypothetically speaking, they don't really have to have the second game be based off of Jin, but they could go to like different points of time throughout history with maybe a descendant of him, you know, just to keep things fresh, as opposed to it being like the same time period in his life. But I don't know. We're not game developers, so we don't know. What game franchise do you want to see return? Oh, I want to see a lot of them, Phantom. So Dino Crisis, huge Dino Crisis fan. The fact that nobody has capitalized off of dinosaurs in 4K makes absolutely no sense to me. So I'd love to see Dino Crisis come back. Honestly, I'd love to see just a lot of stuff from way back when come back. You know, I would love to see a proper Star Fox game. I'd love to see a proper F-Zero game. You know, I'd love to see a lot of stuff. I'd love to see Legend of Dragoon come back. I'd love to see Parappa the Rapper come back. Hey Neo, I'm just happy that Microsoft finally owns all the Wolfenstein and Quake games. They just obtained Quake 4, Return to Castle Wolfenstein, and Wolfenstein 2009, which are published by Activision. Yeah, we were talking about this last night. Activision, with the acquisition of Activision, Xbox is now the shooter box again. Literally, they have Doom, they have Wolfenstein, they have Call of Duty, they have Halo, they have everything, man. You could literally do a multiverse video game with all of these icons. It's absolutely insane. Let's see, scrolling up a bit for some super chats. $2 super chat from Echoes93. What anime are you currently watching? Oh, so right now I'm only watching 2 anime. Those 2 anime are Demon Slayer and Attack on Titan. Those are the only 2 I'm watching right now. Everything else I just catch up with after the fact. $5 super chat from Mexican Zoidberg. Yo, man, I know you love your Sony 950H, but when are you getting that LG OLED? They're amazing and built for gaming. Oh, so we were just talking about this, Zoidberg. It's good to see you, bro. So I was going to buy the LG C1 this month because I got a lot of gift cards over the holiday, and I was like, might as well just use these and buy a TV. But after seeing CES and seeing that LG C2, man, I think I might just pony up some extra, like a couple $100 more, and just cop that C2 when it comes out. Because to me, it's like, unless I can get the C1 at a really discounted price, I'm already so close to when they would release the C2 that I might as well just wait a little while longer. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this 950H, I mean, it's a solid TV. I'll probably, like, I can still get a good amount of money for it if I wanted to sell it on, you know, the marketplace. But yeah, those LGs, oh man, those OLEDs, oh god, they're beautiful. They're so beautiful. Hey, what's going on, Rescue Squad? Good to see you. Yeah, Second Extinction does have 4K dinosaurs, but it's also Second Extinction. Let's see. $5 coming in from Darkstar Angel. Neo, what franchise do you think had the worst sin of wasted character development and also wasted plot points? Mine is Steven Universe. Ooh, good question. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that. Well, so overall, I would say the Star Wars sequel trilogy is a complete waste of time. Complete waste of time. And I know there's a lot of blame to be thrown around Rian Johnson, Kathleen Kennedy, J.J. Abrams, all that stuff. At this point, it doesn't matter. But to me, the fact that you did an entire Star Wars trilogy, 3 movies, and it doesn't seem like any of these characters got development. I mean, Kylo Ren got some, but Rey, what, she just got a Skywalker name? Okay. Finn, nothing. Poe, nothing. It's depressing. It's terrible. Like, how do you do that? How do you fumble the bag this bad? So the Star Wars sequel trilogy immediately comes to mind. Some other shows, I would say, I mean, here's the thing. Even though I really do like Zack Snyder's Justice League, I do think that his universe as a whole, for the stories that he was trying to tell, it felt like wasted potential. Because you can't do the death of Superman in a second movie. I'm sorry, you can't. You can't do a death of Superman in a second movie and expect me to feel something for him. You can't do that. Now, if he had done multiple movies and then ended up killing Superman, that'd be a different story. But yeah, everything just felt like we're gonna rush this just to get to the point where we can tell these kind of stories. So most of the stuff in the DCU just feels like wasted potential, never really went anywhere. Yeah, and also when buying TVs, you want to wait until the Super Bowl, because that's when they all go on sale, and then right after that is when everybody returns it. If you had to pick one game to buy that's coming out next month, what would it be? So I've already picked my game, and that is going to be Horizon Forbidden West. And I did that because, knowing me and how I complete a lot of games, it's going to take me some time to go through Horizon. I don't like to rush everything. So Horizon's going to be that game. Honestly, you know, just okay, so if we assume that Horizon Forbidden West is like around the same length as the first game, that's like what, 20 hours or so. If this new game is like 25, 30 hours, I might buy a second game, because if the side, because I was limiting myself to one game if the side content in Horizon was really good, but the side content in Horizon 1 was not good at all. So maybe I might get a second game. And if I bought a second game that month, it would most likely be Dying Light 2, because I really enjoyed a lot of what I played in the first Dying Light. And if the main story and the side content is really good, then that's going to be the game to get. I know everyone's like, whoa, Elden Ring, man, Elden Ring. Listen, I like Souls games, but I'm not a Souls fanatic. I'm not like, yo, I'm the guy to go to talk about Souls stuff. Like, I played through them, I have fun with them, but you know, I can wait a little bit. And that's another thing, you know, with the way games drop down in price, you can always wait a couple of weeks and it'll be half off. Like, listen, I'm gonna be real. I know some of y'all love Far Cry. I know some of y'all love Assassin's Creed. But if you just wait 2 weeks, you can save 10 to 20 bucks from those games. Trust me on this, man, because that's what happened with Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I remember the game came out, and then a week and a half later, it was already on sale for $45. I was like, what? A Dot Hack Original Tetralogy Remaster Pack. Dude, they gotta bring... Listen, there's so many franchises and IPs from the PlayStation 2 generation that is just dying for a remaster. They just don't want to do it, and it kills me. That's why I kind of, like, in a perfect world, I wish we had proper backwards compatibility on the PS5, because I have so many PlayStation 2 games I could just pop into my system and play, you know? And there were a lot. That was the time in JRPGs where they started experimenting with the battle systems and doing a bunch of weird, random shit, bro. Like, I'm like, it's insane, man. Have you ever been the victim of a cyber attack, like someone trying to steal your info or something like that? If so, how did you handle it? Yeah, I mean, that you always run the risk of that when it comes to putting your information out on digital storefronts. A few years back, someone tried to hack my Best Buy account and use my Best Buy credit card, but I have a lot of the security measures in place to stop folks from doing that. So immediately when that happened, I got the alert. I notified Best Buy, I notified the credit card company and said, listen, someone's trying to do this. That's not me. And thankfully they flagged it because they were trying to buy this in another state across the countries. You know, I was like, they tried to make the magic happen. But the important thing is to just be very, very careful when you are moving on whether it's social media or just in general. Just be very, very careful and cautious with your information, and make sure you have a lot of security measures in place, whether it's two-factor authentication or, you know, just not putting all of your stuff out there just because you want to, you know? Let's see. Well, what games are you guys going to be getting next month? I know a lot of people are like Elden Ring. Some people are going to be getting Sifu. When's the next big Xbox game coming out? It was going to be Stalker 2, but that got delayed. Do we know what the next big Xbox game is going to be? Redfall doesn't have a release date. They said summer, but I don't... The way it's looking, they haven't showed anything, man. I'm kind of getting kind of nervous. Let's see. Not that I'm hesitant to DM you book recommendations, Neo, due to my academic background in Latin and history, but I'm wondering what time periods interest you for history for books to recommend. Grimdark, that's the thing, man. I'm always an open, no pun intended. I'm always an open book when it comes to recommendations, because I will always, if someone is really passionate about something and they feel as if whatever it is worth reading, then by all means, go for it. I don't really like to limit myself to just one specific era. Like, I know a lot of people are like, I only want to talk about, you know, World War II, or I only want to talk about things that happened in, you know, Greece or something like that. But for me, it's like, I like learning and I like expanding my knowledge and stuff that I could have potentially never knew about. So yeah, I'm always about, if you find it interesting and you think it's worth talking about, then by all means, because that's how it is with most things. Like there's sometimes where I just blanket there's sometimes where I can just make a blanket recommendation for you guys. Like, hey, play Yakuza Like a Dragon, play Nier Automata, play Danganronpa, play this, you know? And some of you guys might like it. Some of you guys might not like it. There's a lot of people I know, they see the persona, they try it. It's not their cup of tea. And by all means, that's fine. But it's the fact that they gave it a shot and they say, I appreciate your viewpoint, even though I don't agree with it. So yeah, whatever you want to recommend, go for it, bro. Let's see, $6.99 super chat coming in from Colin, my boy. What are some anime, manga, films, TV shows, or video games that have had a lasting impact on you or even inspired you? You can choose more than one. Ooh, Colin with the good questions, my Canadian brother. Yeah, so a lot of the stuff that I consume has a major impact on me. I mean, like, if I had to pick... Oh, no, the music stopped. We gotta go ahead and run that back. Let's run that back. Alrighty, run that back right quick. Here we go. So obviously there's a lot of stories. Like, say for example, Spider-Man comics. The reason why Spider-Man is my favorite superhero of all time is not just because he's this kid and he can shoot webs and he's a wisecracking, you know, teen from Queens. But what's really important about Spider-Man to me is that at the time I'd never seen a character that had such a mass appeal that felt extremely relatable, because he's this kid who's just trying to, first off, figure out his place in this world as Peter Parker, and also dealing with responsibility of being Spider-Man, losing his uncle, losing a lot of people that he loves just because they end up being too close to him, and just trying to tackle everything in life that we deal with. Juggling school, juggling work, juggling relationships, a lot of things like that. And no matter how hard it got, he found a way to persevere. And no matter how hard he was beaten down by his adversaries or by life, he found a way to keep it moving. And that's, like, you guys might hear me say that, like, you know, you just keep it moving, you keep it moving. That's kind of where I got the inspiration from reading stories about Spider-Man and seeing him. And then growing up and seeing how it translated into other mediums, whether they were the movies or, you know, now with the really good video games and the stories we get there, it's very important. So things like Spider-Man is important to me. Also, you know, Yu Yu Hakusho, it's my all-time favorite anime. And the story of Yusuke Urameshi and where he was in the very beginning to where he ends up at the very end. And just showing how, like, you don't really have to sacrifice who you are, but you can still become a better person. Like, things like that resonate with me. Like, you never lose sight of who you are. And most recently, the one that had, I think, the biggest impact on me, since we're talking about anime, was Demon Slayer with Rengoku, right? Now, if you haven't seen Demon Slayer, I'm about to get into spoilers, and there's no way I can speak on this without getting into spoilers. But in Demon Slayer, there's this character by the name of Rengoku. All right, Rengoku, he's a Hashira, high-ranking, very powerful entity in the universe. And when we see him on screen, you know, like instantly it's just like, wow, I like this guy a lot. He's just got this personality to him. He's just really, really like, wow, this dude is dope. Like who wouldn't want to be best friends with him? But you can tell behind his eyes, there's this resolve, there's this reason why he does things, right? And that has to do with his backstory growing up, and his relationship with his father, his relationship with his brother, you know, not wanting to repeat the cycle, and then of course his mother who passed away, and just everything you got with Rengoku in that time during the Mugen Train arc. And by the end of it, you know, he ended up losing to his adversary, but at the same time he still won because he made sure that nobody on that train died, which was his mission. That was his mission, right? He might have lost in terms of the battle, but he still won in that respect because those people are alive. Tanjiro's alive, Nezuko's alive, and he inspired them. He kept that hope alive. And no matter how hard things got, you know, he kept the flame burning. Like, even though like he was just like completely outclassed by this demon, he was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna dust myself off and we're gonna go for it. And he said that with his chest, man. He said it with his chest, right? Like, I am the Flame Hashira Rengoku, right? And man, like that whole scene, like, bro, every single time I watch the Demon Slayer Mugen Train movie, I choke up by the end of it. I choke up because, like, I've never seen a character with such, like, we only see this guy for a short amount of time, and yet he leaves such an impact on you. So, like, Rengoku so much, man. I love Rengoku so much. Like, at some point I do want to get like a giant like mural dedicated to Rengoku and that fight he had. But yeah, there's just a lot of stuff too. Like, there's a lot of things that it's hard to list right now because I start getting really emotional. But you know, things like the Green Mile, you know, like first time I saw Saving Private Ryan, I was like, whoa, that had a legit impact on me. And another movie I just saw most recently was Tick Tick Boom. It's the story about Jonathan Larson, which, for those who, you know, you're unaware, that's the creator of Rent, right? One of the most successful Broadway shows. And the topic of the movie Tick Tick Boom was, you know, you have this guy Jonathan Larson. He's this aspiring artist, and he's really just worried because he's about to turn 30 years old. And you know, that's the common thing that we see a lot. A lot of people think 30. If you don't have your life figured out by the age of 30, then that's it. It's all downhill from there. You hear that all the time. Oh, I can't believe I'm about to be 30 years old, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not going to spoil much of the movie, but it's all about dispelling that myth and that narrative, and that your life is so much more than just this arbitrary number. And the tragedy of Jonathan Larson's story, and this is not a spoiler, is that he died right before his magnum opus was shown off to the world, like before he could see how impactful of a show Rent was and what he did and how he inspired an entire generation of people. He was taken from us. And that really hit me as someone who, you know, I don't really call myself a creative, even though technically speaking I am. That really hit with me as someone who is approaching 30. You know, I'm going to be 29 this year. And sometimes you just need that kick in the rear that, listen, it's got to be okay. It's got to be okay. Just continue to focus on your purpose, focus on your passion, and everything will figure itself out. So stuff like that is just really, oh man, what, Colin, why you gonna ask all these emotional questions, man? But yeah, that most recently was a movie that stuck with me, and I still think about this movie on almost a daily basis. But yeah, a lot of stuff, you know, like Lion King, for example, the concept of loss and how our loved ones, they never really leave us. They're always with us, and they're always watching down on us. Same thing for Harry Potter. You know, man, Harry Potter is a very traumatic story, but it's all about learning to live with your trauma and growing in spite of your trauma, and how it doesn't matter that all these bad things have happened to you. You are not a bad person. You know, you're a very good person who bad things have happened to. But yeah, like there's so many things I could list, man. So many things. Man. Shout out to Colin. $4.99 from John McKinney. Could a live action version of Hellsing work? Absolutely. I'm a firm believer that a lot of anime can work in live action. It just comes down to who's working on it. And the story of Hellsing is not something that could only be done in anime. It can be done in live action, but I think the important thing is you can't take away the style of Hellsing, because that's one of its biggest, the biggest draws is just how incredible of a series it looks. And if you can find a way to make a live action version without trying to be a parody of it, you know, like the Lion King, for example, the Lion King, the 2019 remake. You know, that it looks like, oh my god, it looks like the Lion King, but it doesn't have the soul of the Lion King. If they can do Hellsing in live action that has the soul of Hellsing while looking a little different, I think it could work. But the problem is they put their D teams on a lot of these productions. That's what happens. Yeah, man, I'm seeing you guys are talking about a lot of stories here. Yeah, it's a lot of good stuff, man. Wait, what happened? I'm looking at something in the mod in the chat. Something about the mod in the chat. What happened in the chat? I gotta catch up. $2 coming in from Tariq Jackson. What do you think of Robert Pattinson as the Batman? Oh, you mean the GOAT, the next great Batman? Yes. Nah. So the second they announced that Robert Pattinson was playing Batman, I was on board with this because I am a big fan of Robert Pattinson, unlike a lot of people out there who only know him from Twilight. If you go and look at Robert Pattinson's filmography over the past decade, he is one of the best actors working today. Incredible range, incredible talent. And when I found out that he was doing Batman, I was like, holy shit, this is going to be amazing. Because we really haven't got an actor that's got that level of range playing Batman. We've had good actors, mind you, but Robert Pattinson's a different beast. And then you have Matt Reeves working on it, which already I was a fan of Matt Reeves, but I knew that if he cast Robert Pattinson, that means he saw something in this guy, which is why I'm so excited for the movie. And every single time I see something, I get even, bro, I haven't been this excited for a DC movie, a Batman movie, a superhero movie in a very long time, man. I cannot wait for the Batman. Oh my God, that shit is gonna be good. Did you get a chance to try out the Taco Bell wings? No, I did not. I did not get a chance to try out the Taco Bell wings, but from what I hear, they were using squirrel ankles for the meat, and I'm just like, nah. But no, I heard from one person that they were good, and then everyone else said that shit was trash. So I'm like, nah. Let me just let me go ahead and get wings from somewhere else. Who do you think Microsoft will buy next? IO Interactive, WB, Crystal Dynamics, or someone else? Well, prior to the acquisition, I was thinking that they were grooming a lot of these developers for an acquisition. Like, for example, they have a deal with IO Interactive. They're working on that dragon game thing, whatever it is. WB obviously always comes up in the topic of conversation. They like Avalanche is another example. They're doing Contraband with them, so I was thinking maybe Avalanche. And then Crystal Dynamics is working on Perfect Dark, and I think out of all the studios, Crystal Dynamics would be a pretty easy get because according to Square Enix, Square Enix just publicly dumps on Crystal Dynamics all the time, and it's actually terrible because they're like, yeah, you know, that Avengers game didn't do well, them Tomb Raider games didn't do well. I think out of all companies, Crystal Dynamics, because they have someone at Xbox who works with Crystal Dynamics, Gallagher, I believe was his name, that'd be an easy fit to acclimate them. And then with them working on Perfect Dark with the initiative, that's just like a nice test run of sorts. And I wouldn't be surprised if Square Enix was like, okay, we'll sell you Crystal Dynamics. Now, does that mean they're going to get the Tomb Raider IP? I do not know, because if you buy the developer, it's much cheaper than buying the assets. The reason why Insomniac was a steal for PlayStation at 229 million is because they don't really have a lot of valuable IP. Versus someone like a Crystal Dynamics who has Tomb Raider. That's a very, very big IP. So yeah, we'll see, man. I don't know. They just spent a lot of money on Activision. I don't know if they'll be making any acquisitions anytime soon, but listen, none of us thought that a little over a year and change they would acquire Activision. Like, that's insane, bro. But the thing is, and this is the crazy part, guys, when all this stuff clears, when the dust settles, Game Pass is going to be insane. Like, you're talking about putting the entire Activision Blizzard library, the entire Bethesda catalog, and your Xbox Game Studios on Game Pass. You're looking at a new game every single month. Maybe even more than that. That's wild. Like, yeah, that's still further down the road, like 2024 and beyond, but dude, that's insane. I can't believe it. $5 super chat from Artsy Avanti. Only one can stay. Motoi Sakuraba, Yoko Shimomura, or Yasunori Mitsuda. Oh, that's easy for me, man. That's going to be Yoko Shimomura. Straight up. Yoko Shimomura, that woman and what she's done with Kingdom Hearts and other renditions in other franchises. That's it. Straight up, man. Like, I listen to Kingdom Hearts music on the daily. Like, dude, at the gym today, I was listening to Hearts as One from Kingdom Hearts 3. Like, bro, just looking at like my list right here, like straight up, Hearts as One, what is it, Forza de Male or Damale, which is the Dark Riku theme. Like, I can't Yoko Shimomura is always gonna stay. And I mean, I got the, you guys can't see it, but no, you definitely can't see it, but above that Funko Pop, I have a signed soundtrack from the Kingdom Hearts games, signed by Yoko Shimomura when I met her a few years ago in New York. So yeah, of course I'm gonna rep the queen, of course. Yeah, but there's a lot of good music out there, man. There's just so much good stuff. There's so much good stuff, and it's hard. It's hard to pick between your faves, but there's always gonna be a fave. Pattinson will be the best interpretation over the course of Reeves' trilogy. Stop playing, chat. Well, I mean, to be fair, Soapbox, to be fair, like, let's be real. I mean, we're hyped for this, and shout out to my boy Soapbox. We're hyped for this, but for all we know, this shit could blow up in his face. I'm not saying it will, and I would not wish that, but it could happen. It could, man. I don't think it will, but it could. There's too many good tracks from Nier. Way too many good tracks from Nier, man. I'd have to go back and look at the individual soundtrack names from Nier, because I know the themes, but I don't know the names like I do Kingdom Hearts stuff. Have you seen Dynasty Duck? No, I haven't. Do you have a Goodreads account, Neo? Not sure if I should give book recommendations by Goodreads link or just Amazon store links to the DMs. I don't have a Goodreads account, but if anything, if you send me like the Amazon links, that's probably easier, because right then and there, I have access if I want to purchase it. Let's see. Neo bumping music today? Yeah, we've been bumping these musics, in a couple of these streams, man. These musics, we've been bumping music for the past couple of streams. And if you guys are enjoying the stream, make sure you hit that like button. Helps out the channel tremendously. We're at 77 likes right now. Appreciate you guys. Yes, Hardest One is amazing, man. Oh god, bro, when they put Asvel on, when I tell you, bro, when they put all the Kingdom Hearts music on streaming services, I was so hyped, because before that you had to deal with YouTube. And every now and then you can get a clean rip of the music, but most of the time you're just listening to someone who recorded it from the game and they did some clever editing. But now when you have just the truly like high quality greatness in your ears, man, oh, that's some hype music. That's some fucking hype music. Let's see. Oh, so we have a $5 super chat from Marcus Doyle Terrell. I always found it strange when people say, why y'all take the internet so seriously? Yet when controversy happens, they take it seriously. I mean, that's the thing, man. Everyone is, I call it selective outrage. This happens all the time. And it doesn't even matter whether it's in the internet or real life. people are very hypocritical of things. Like, since we're talking about gaming, like, let's just be real about life for a second. When Hellblade first came out, a lot of Xbox gamers, not everybody, but a lot of Xbox gamers were shitting on it. Oh, it's a third-person interactive game. Sony fans love that. But the second Xbox ran game and bought Ninja Theory, everyone all of a sudden loves Hellblade. And I can say this because I saw it happen. Now, let's switch gears. PlayStation. Everyone's shitting on backwards compatibility when it was on Xbox. Why are you guys hyping up old games with frame rates, blah, blah, blah. But now that there are rumors that there might be backwards compatibility for PlayStation 1, 2, and 3, oh, everybody, what's your favorite PS3 games that you're going to play on release? Like, it's just people are selective with these shits, which is why I always say, listen, sometimes people they just got to take a chill pill. They got to take a chill pill and realize all this shit ain't serious, man. But the problem is a lot of people, this is all they got, bro. They ain't got other shit going on in life. They don't got families. I hope they don't got kids, because that's really dangerous if you up at 4 a.m. in the morning arguing with randoms with no profile pictures over fucking video games. That's fucking weird. But yeah, man, people just very selective with their outrage. 999 coming in from John McKinney. Which Disney villain would be easier to make sympathetic of these two? Scar or Judge Frollo? I'd say Scar. It left ambiguous whether he has redeeming qualities. There's nothing redeeming about Frollo. Oh, absolutely, John McKinney. Frollo, you cannot... Like, dude, the intro of Hunchback of Notre Dame, he was just ready to be like, I'm gonna throw this baby down a well. Like, what the... There is no redeeming that. He's got issues. But that makes for a really damn good villain because you know he's bad. Scar, you could definitely play up the whole jealousy angle of his brother, and you can make him a somewhat sympathetic villain. I don't necessarily agree with that considering what the end game was and how he killed Mufasa, but if you were to make a different version of The Lion King where he didn't kill Mufasa and maybe he did something bad but not as bad, I mean, let's be real. Let's be real, you guys. Dragon Ball Z, they rehabilitated Vegeta. Out of all the characters in the series that people take issue with, the fact that Vegeta is able to just exist amongst the Z Warriors, like, people say, oh, well, Piccolo's dark past. Piccolo ain't done shit compared to Vegeta and what Vegeta kept doing throughout the series. How do you rehabilitate that? Every single bad thing that Vegeta does in the series is because he wanted to do it. He wasn't being controlled by somebody. Even with Babidi, he was just like, fuck it, I want to get the power to surpass Goku. Let me become evil. Like, Vegeta? Nah, fam. If I was Bulma, Man, listen, I don't know. Vegeta must have some good dick or something for Bulma to stay with him after he legit annihilated that entire tournament. Like, bro, what? I can't with this shit, bro. Y'all ever just think back to that? Like, damn, Vegeta really did a lot. Vegeta's really the reason for a lot of the stuff that went wrong in Dragon Ball. Like, all because of his jealousy. His jealousy, man. Well, with Piccolo Asbel, they were talking more about, like, who your father was, so your legacy. That's what they were talking about. Vegeta, nah, fam. That guy Vegeta, man. $2 super chat from Marcus Doyle Terrell. Also, Spider-Man podcast when? Yes, sir. Gotta assemble the boys for that one. Gotta assemble the boys. We didn't get a chance to do our year-end podcast because I had COVID. So I'm thinking, like, yeah, it's a dry spell. I'm gonna see what they up to. Shout out to Daniel Pack for being a member for 18 months. Whoa, 18 months. That's right, Daniel Pack. You have been the certified muscle. You've been the enforcer for 18 long months, my friend. How does that feel? Keeping things civil in this chat. Man's busted a nut to some music. Hey, man, listen. All I'm saying is you've busted nuts to more questionable things than I have, my friend. This man busted his nut to a fucking Hot Pocket. He might have busted his nut in the Hot Pocket. $2 super chat from Artsy Avanti. Yoko Shimomura or Shoji Meguro? Yoko Shimomura, my friend. Yoko. Shoji's great. He's fantastic. But listen, Yoko Shimomura, she's got this grip on my ears, man. It's in my very soul. One day I'm gonna send you some beats and I need you to play them during the stream. Hey yo, Don Otaku, listen man, if you, cause you know me, man, I like chill vibes, chill beats, shit like that. So if you put something good together, of course I'll play that on stream, man. Of course, that's free promotion for the homie. Doki Doki when? Hey, listen, Bella, we went like a good almost 2 hours with no one mentioning Doki Doki, and you brought this shit up. Gah, we gonna get that Doki Doki popping. Don't worry. Have you ever took a deep dive into fighting games? Not really, man. The thing about me and fighting games is that I'll play them for a few hours and I'll be good. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like the last time I really invested in a fighting game like that was Tatsunoko vs. Capcom on the Wii. Yeah, because after that, I mean, I got Mortal Kombat 9. I played that for a little bit, but not too much, not too much. And then from there, it was just like less and less time, you know? Like I bought Street Fighter 5, barely played it. I got Dragon Ball FighterZ, played it a fair bit, but you know, not too much. It's just for me, like the dedication that would come into actually learning the game, I'd rather spend it on something else. But I totally understand, because it's no different than like FPS games and battle royales. People spend a lot of time to get good, and it's the exact same thing with fighting games. But for me, it's just like I'll just go play The Witcher for the 88th time. This is my gift, my curse. It's called The Witcher. Best Disney musical? Ooh. Oh. I mean, I really love... like Aladdin. Aladdin is my go-to answer. I love a lot of the tracks in Aladdin, but I also love The Lion King too, and I love Beauty and the Beast. Like, it's hard. A lot of things in the Disney Renaissance era really resonate with me. Everyone's saying, "Hey yo." Oh my God! Listen to what this dude Flame said. Daniel Pack being a member for 18 months is crazy, but not as crazy as the value you get from Xbox Game Pass for $9.99 a month. Oh God. I'm curious, is anybody subscribed? Is anybody subscribed to just like the regular Game Pass and not Game Pass Ultimate? I'm curious. This man said nut in the hot pocket. I almost spat out my drink, but listen, Asbelon, if you follow this boy Gabe on Twitter, you just that hype from people. I mean, not the hype from people, but the shit that he says on that feed is something else. What about Killer Instinct? Nah, I didn't really mess with Killer Instinct. Like, I played a little bit of it as a kid, a little bit, when I was at my cousin's place, but really nothing to write home about. And then when it was on Xbox, I still haven't tried it. I still haven't tried it. I haven't. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get to it. Nah. But I'm all for if someone wants to do a Killer Instinct 2, I'd be like, yeah, I'll be there with you, because that's diversity for the lineup, and that's what I want for people. Let's see. Any advice for small creators? Tim the Tap Man always says shorts, asking for a friend. As far as like for small creators and getting into this, man, first off, you have to know if you like this stuff. You have to know if you want to invest the time, money, effort, and resources. So I always tell people to just create and worry about all that other stuff later. Because if you really have a passion for this, knowing how to structure videos, knowing how to do social media engagement, all that stuff will come with time. But you definitely want to have an outreach of things. So you want to pimp out your product wherever you can. So if you have something on YouTube, find a way to bring that to Twitter, find a way to bring that to TikTok, find a way to bring that to anything. A lot of people enjoy using the YouTube Shorts option. I mean, me, myself, I don't use that. But maybe I might start using that if, like, let's say I'm out and about at a convention or something and I'll see a YouTube short. But for the content that I do, I don't really see a benefit in doing YouTube Shorts, because YouTube Shorts is usually like people do them for either really funny content or informative content. Like you see that sometimes with like, oh, here's the unboxing, here's what comes inside the new PS5 DualSense controller. Oh, look, it's the controller itself. All right, that's 15 seconds. Okay. But yeah, the important thing is to just focus on creating quality content, and all that other stuff will figure itself out. Are you excited for the new Bleach anime? I mean, I'm excited for the fans of Bleach. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Bleach, so I'll probably only watch a little bit of it. But I'm happy that Bleach fans are finally going to get their conclusion. I've never paid full price for Game Pass Ultimate. Gotta take advantage of the loophole. Yes, as always, you take advantage of that loophole. I'm still working off my Game Pass that I got from the Xbox All Access program, because that Game Pass is like 2 years, and I got that Xbox in May, and I have a bunch of Game Pass Ultimate yearly memberships that Xbox sends me. So like whenever I'm done with that, I'll just re-up. Yeah, and Kanto is really good. Hey, Ghost Rider, how you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Oh, yes, Maddie. Oh, dude, Death's Door is fantastic. If you guys have not played Death's Door, it is on Game Pass. Please, we need to support more games with birds that have deadly weapons. I'm telling you, this is Daniel Pack. Are you still here, my friend? Because this is what it was. Because we were watching the Xbox Indie stream and they showed off Death's Door, and we were like, "Yo, that game looked tough, bro." Like straight up, man. I personally don't like having background music in the stream. Yeah, honestly, it's something new that I've been trying over the past couple months, and a lot of people really resonate with it because people use this as like background music when they're either driving or they're at work or they're drawing or something. So I'm like, okay, if you guys like the background music, cool. But if we're doing like news topics or whatever, I won't use any background music. I got all access after watching your video. Didn't know it was a thing until then. Yeah, a lot of people didn't know, man. I mean, myself included. That's why I did it. But yeah, man, that all access program is incredible. You pay like $25 a month. You get an Xbox console. You get Game Pass for 2 years. Like, that's phenomenal, man. Oh, it's a little loud. Oh, you guys should have told me if it's loud. Oh no, it's been this loud the whole time. Oh my God. Oh my God, I brought that down. I didn't know it was that loud. Jesus. Damn. Oh, I didn't know it was that loud. I did not know it was that loud, you guys. I feel so bad. I feel so bad about that. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me listen to the playback.
Hopefully the music is not overpowering the voice, and I don't think there's been a sleeper game on that level.
Oh, man.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, it's not as loud as I thought it was. Okay, but it was still a little loud. Damn. NeoGameSpark. My bad, you guys. Oh man. Oh. I'm sorry about that, you guys. Usually I keep it really low. Turn that shit back up. All right, so I got it. Okay, damn. I feel bad because this is like a really good stream. All right, either way, we know for next time. It's at a good level. Someone says I was vibing to the music. It sounds like we're on Destiny Islands. That's what it sounds like. Oh man, well, I'll keep it just a little bit. 50 Cent voice. Turn it up. It's too quiet. Well, damn, you guys must have enjoyed it then. Jesus, I'm sorry. Okay, 279 super chat from Leon. Having KFC for supper. What's up, Chris? Oh, what you get from KFC, Leon? What you get from KFC? What you getting from KFC, my man? What's everyone's go-to KFC order? I haven't had KFC in a hot minute, man. It's been straight Popeyes over here. But man, as a kid, this was my KFC order as a kid, y'all. Got a bucket of fried chicken, a box of potato wedges, and all I ate was the skin off the chicken and then potato wedges, bro. That was it. That was it, man. That was it. This man Trigo said, "Thanks, babe." Oh man, absolute rave in this bitch, man. Like do. Oh, you DM me some stuff? Oh, awesome, Grimdark. I will check that after the stream. Thank you, my kind sir. Bro, man, I'm starting to get a little hungry, guys. Getting a little hungry again. What's for dinner tonight? I don't know. What y'all having for dinner tonight? Because I mean, I have my healthy food. I have my healthy food for tonight, but should I be naughty tonight? Should I be naughty tonight? I had a really good workout today. I think I earned it. I don't know. Hey man, them KFC chicken sandwiches from a few years back used to be pretty good. Hey, yo, Doki Doki's coming back. Don't worry. Don't Don't worry. Don't worry. It's coming back. I didn't know y'all really fucked with that Doki Doki stream like that. That's awesome. Shout out to y'all. Tonight's a cheat day, methinks. Man, let's see. I mean, pizza. I don't know. Pizza's too easy, Avanti. I could go for like, be naughty. I'm currently making cookies. Oh, what kind of cookies you making, Bryce? Hey, you better share those, man. Could get some Popeyes. I don't know. A bucket of chicken and that popcorn chicken. Oh, the popcorn chicken. I remember that. Oh, I brought me back. So there's this spot. There's this spot that and it's very surprising. But there's a spot near me that, what the hell? Who is blowing up my Twitter? Nigga. Yo, shit, man. Oh, OG chocolate chip. There we go. That's good. All right, so there's a spot near me. I shit you not. So weird. But they claim they make the best Philly cheesesteaks around, right? And I'm very hesitant about places that they say they make another place's food as good. But I've been word on the streets, you know, and I always take the streets. I don't read the reviews online because sometimes the reviews online, you know the type you get, but you gotta listen to the streets, and the streets be saying that this place is hitting. So I might have to go get a cheesesteak from there. But the thing about the cheesesteak at this spot, bro, that thing is like almost $20. That thing is almost $20 for a cheesesteak, y'all. But everyone's saying it's really good. I might have to take the plunge. They're open till like midnight, so I got some time. I got it. I might have to try for the culture, bro. Might have to. Ooh, sea salt brownies tomorrow. Hey, you better keep those away from your father, Bella, cause he be munching. Yo, Bella, we was playing. So Bella's dad is how Bella got into watching her streams, and the funny thing is, Bella's dad, every time we getting on and we playing Halo together, he's always munching on something. And I'm like, what you munching on today, Havoc? And he's like, I got some Cheetos. And then he's like, what you munching on today, Havoc? I got some brownies. Shout out to my boy Havoc. Is Havoc at home, Bella, or is he at work right now? Popcorn chicken does sound nice right about now, you guys. Have you been watching the updates on Halo Infinite? I have, and they're kind of depressing. They just launched that new patch and they're like, well, we have to deploy a new patch to fix this last patch we did. Halo Infinite, it's kind of rough right now, man. You know, between all the cheating that's been going on, and then big team battle is still kind of funky. I don't know, man. It's kind of sad. It's gonna take a while for this to get fixed, but at least it's not as bad as Battlefield. Oh, poor Battlefield, man. Oh yeah, your best friend's house right now? Oh, okay, I got you, Bella. Shout out to your best friend. Neo, have you heard the rumors that Square Enix has already been acquired by either Xbox or PlayStation? It's wild that they've been able to hide something like this. If it's true, my take is PlayStation. I haven't, this is news to me that that's actually a rumor. But if they were to be acquired by a company, I could totally see Sony buying them. Because that just makes the most amount of sense. Ayo, I don't know about y'all, but you remember, did any of y'all's high schools used to sell like funnel cakes? Man, my middle school used to sell funnel cakes and they were crack. They tasted like they were from the state fair, bro. She screamed out of pure confusion. Oh, I feel it. Sometimes, listen, sometimes you just gotta scream, and that's the answer to everything. Like, I feel all of us as a collective unit just need to go into a field somewhere and scream at the top of our lungs. You just gotta scream one time for the one time. Shout out to her best friend. Woo! $2 super chat from Flame. Concerning Halo, who's laughing now, huh? Okay, so here's the thing, you guys. So to give you the backstory on this, Flame has stated that he is not going to touch Halo Infinite until it is feature complete. And the way it's looking, probably another 6 months from now. And honest to God, Flame is not missing that much. Halo is fun, but you always have to add an asterisk to Halo. You always got to add an asterisk to Halo. Dude, I cut my finger with a machete cutting bushes. You're gaming. Oh, ouch, Chuck, man. Oh. And the worst part about it is that it's going to take some time to heal, and it's not going to be back 100% for a minute. Ah, God. Oh, Jesus, bro. Hopefully it heals up soon. Bravely Default and Bravely Second should be on the Switch. Xenoblade Chronicles X2. Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't ported those, bro. I'm surprised. The way the Switch is printing money? They need to. I scream at 2 a.m. streaming ranked Halo. Oh, no, dude. We were playing Halo Infinite a few nights ago. And mind you, Rhino and I, we hadn't played Halo in like a month. Havoc still plays it. And, bro, we was in that shit. We was getting mopped. It was not pretty. Your boy Neo was going straight Mr. Negative in that game. I was like, this is depressing, bro. But then Havoc was over there holding it down with the entire squad. But, you know, when you have 2 people out of 4 that ain't doing so hot, and then you have a rando and Havoc trying to hold shit down. This man Havoc, bro, he was sweating bullets. He was screaming. He was yelling. I was like, bro, didn't you just get off a 12-hour shift? He's like, yeah, that's why I'm extra angry. Bro, that shit was funny. Man, we should all scream "Ayo" in a field. Why? Did somebody do something sus? Oh no, Bryce. Nah, but that Halo gameplay is still really fun, man. They just got to work out all the issues. Anything you'd like to see from the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary this year? Yes, I would love to see what direction they're going to take the franchise. Whether that's a Kingdom Hearts 4 or they're going to do something else. I'd love to see that. All the other stuff, I'm kind of whatever, like merchandise, all that stuff. You're bound to get new merch and everything. But yeah, me, I just want to see quality game announcements, less weird spin-offs, you know. So, Melody of Memories, it has its place, but I'd rather, you know why we're here. You know why we're here. 279 from Leon. I wish there was an HD remake of Ocarina of Time. Man, you and me both, bro. Nintendo is just sitting on these incredible IPs and they could be doing so much more with them. But they're like, no, Nintendo Switch Online exclusive. What do you think of the new Shenmue anime that's coming out? I was so surprised because I didn't even know they were having a Shenmue anime until I saw that trailer. But, you know, I think it looks okay. I'm not the biggest fan of Shenmue like that. I still haven't played Shenmue 3, even though it's on sale for like $5 at sometimes. Shenmue was always that franchise where like I enjoyed playing it, but it's not something that I can always go back and play, especially because they don't really age that well. I mean, they're groundbreaking for their time. Don't get it twisted. Would you get copyrighted for playing anime music during the streams? Yeah, so that's why I'm very selective about the music I play, because anything that, if you go on YouTube and you see the copyrights under the music, you just don't want to play that, which is why I play a lot of like independent stuff, lo-fi remixes, things like that. Hey, what's going on, Chris? How you doing, bro? Are you gonna get the Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga? It looks really fun. Yeah, man. I mean, here's the thing. I've been following that Lego game for a minute, and I mean, I like Lego games, but for me, I only play Lego games like once every 5 years or so, because there's way too many of them, man. You got Lego Star Wars, Lego The Hobbit, Lego Marvel, Lego The Avengers, Lego Batman, Lego this, Lego that. But this new one looks like they're finally taking some risks, some creative risks with Lego. And because of that, that's kind of why it's been in this development limbo. I remember, wasn't this game supposed to come out like, what, 2020, something like that, 2019? And here we are in 2022, and it's still not out. But we did get a release date. It's coming out April, which I'm surprised. I thought they'd want to release it on Star Wars Day or week, but they didn't want to do that, which is fine. But yeah, from what we've been reading, man, there was like so much crunch going on behind the scenes. And yeah, it sounds like we're going to be hearing a lot of stories about what happened to this game. You've been playing... Oh, yeah, a lot of people have been playing that Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel game. I want to get into it, but man, the thing about Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that I'm a sucker for the old school style of playing. So when you start doing like synchro summoning, link summoning, all this other stuff, that's when my brain just, it checks out. Like I'm a very, like for me, I go all the way to GX, and then 5D stuff, I can navigate my way around. But then when you start getting to that other shit, I was like, oh, what is this? I become a boomer, straight up boomer. How do you feel about the Guardians of the Galaxy game? I just finished it an hour ago and I really enjoyed it. I loved it, bro. And I was very surprised that I loved it. The story was fantastic. The narrative, how much character development you had for the team was fantastic. This is my favorite interpretation of the Guardians. I like them a lot more than the MCU versions because this one actually gave the characters more to do than just like, oh, okay, we're here and Peter Quill's the main character. Everyone else, it's like, maybe we'll give you some time. I loved the nods to, like, it recognized that, okay, the reason why a lot of people know the Guardians is because of the Marvel movie, but at the same time it added in a lot more of the cosmic lore of Marvel Comics. And I don't know if this is gonna get too much spoilers, but there's a lot of like heavy hitting cosmic entities that appeared in the comics that show up in this game, and it was awesome to see how it was handled. The music selection was great. I was kind of disappointed in the combat. I think the combat is the weakest part about it. I mean, it's still fine, it's serviceable, but you can definitely tell that, okay, if there was something that wasn't as good as the rest, it was the combat. But thankfully the rest of the game was solid. And it's definitely what that Avengers game should have been. Like, just a straight focused single player narrative. That Avengers game, yes, I get it, it has a single player component, but you can't compare the two. You cannot. Like, the way that they told the story in Guardians is a single player experience. That Avengers thing is like, okay, you can play it single player and we have a story, but here's a lot of the, like, the whole war table stuff you have waiting and blah blah blah. Like, you can obviously tell that the single player portion was an afterthought, or they just tacked it on, you know. What do you think about a 3-hour Batman film? So I kind of go back and forth with the whole discussion of length for content. A lot of people say that things are way too long. A lot of things that people say are not as long, or are way too short. Honestly, I feel like if it serves the purpose for the story, then that should be what the length is. So right now, I don't know if a 3-hour Batman story is going to be worth it. I'll have to see when I watch the movie myself. But just the trust I have for Matt Reeves as a filmmaker, I think that if there was anybody to justify the length of a 3-hour Batman movie, it would be him. And so we'll just have to wait and see on that. So that's the only answer I can give, because, you know, I don't know, maybe we'll watch this movie and we'll be like, yeah, it was definitely way too stuffed. Or we could watch it and be like, no, I feel like this could have been a 4-hour movie. I don't know. Because remember, you're talking to the guy who loves the extended editions of the Lord of the Rings movies, and those clock in at 3.5, 4.5 hours for the last one, and I eat that shit up. Now, mind you, I do have to clear my schedule when I watch those movies, and it's not something I can just watch in one sitting, unless I set aside an entire day. But for a lot of people out there, they, you know, anything over 2 hours is kind of a stretch, which is fair. It's fine. That's why most movies out there, most animated movies for kids are 90 minutes long, because their attention span. That's why most blockbusters are 2 hours and 16 minutes. But I think everything it depends on what the story is and what they're trying to tell. Like the Nolan movies, like The Dark Knight is 2 hours, and I think it's 2 hours and 16 or 2 hours and 20 minutes, not counting the credits. But people love and revere that movie. So it depends on what the story calls for, in my honest opinion. Oh, I just got your message on Twitter, Grimdark. But either way, man, I'm about to be posted up in that movie theater. I'm about to be posted up in that movie theater with my Snuggie, with my flask, with my aluminum foil filled with food. I can't wait, y'all. I cannot wait. But the clock just struck 8 p.m., you guys, and I think it's time we wrap it up for the night, man. Your boy's starting to get hungry, man. And you know, when I start getting hungry, I start getting a little irritable. And the last thing I want to do is take it out on the chat, because you guys are awesome. But yeah, I wanna thank y'all for pulling up to this As Neo session. As always, it is a pleasure to be in y'all's presence. We had a lot of good fun tonight, a lot of good talks. Thank thank you so much to all the mods for your incredible work that you do. Thank you so much to all the super chats for your support. You guys are awesome. And if you guys do want to get in touch with me, all my links are down below in the video description, from my Patreon to my Twitter, Discord community, Instagram. Give your boy a follow on all those things. And yes, we will be doing that Doki Doki stream at some point. If anything, I ain't gonna tell y'all when we gonna do this Doki Doki stream, because, you know, I feel like if I say it, something always happens and it doesn't happen. So what's gonna happen is I'm just gonna stroll up on YouTube. You might not know when it is. It could be 3 p.m. or 3 a.m. for all we know. All the early morning risers are just like, yeah, 3 a.m. Doki Doki stream. I'm down with that. But it's gonna happen. I'm gonna surprise y'all when it happens. You ain't gonna know. And only the ones that know will be there. But considering it is Ask Neo and not just a regular news stream, we do have something to take care of. That we do every single stream, and that is a hydration check. Now, what is a hydration check, you may ask? A hydration check is basically your boy Neo's way of making sure y'all stay accountable and y'all drink your water. Stay hydrated. Because when you're hydrated, your skin feels better, your hair feels better, everything about your body is much better. So I want y'all to go ahead and grab your favorite H2O beverage of choice. H2O, not vodka, not tequila, Bella, those things you don't got to worry about for a few more years. But yes, just grab your favorite beverage, whether it's seltzer water, mineral water, spring water. In the case of Flame, he just goes into his bathroom with the phone over here and he just puts a straw and he's like, yep, because that's our boy Flame. You know how it is. Yeah, but we're going to go ahead and do that. And mind you, I don't have water right here, so I'm just going to, well, this is water. I'm just going to finish the rest that's in this Grogu thermos thingy mabobber. And I'll take some wine. Hey, Bella, your dad know you drinking that wine? Wait a minute. I do not condone. Listen to all the potential sponsors watching the video. Ask Neo does not condone the use of alcohol on the streams. Just to let y'all know. I got to cover my bases. Y'all. So yeah, on the count of 3, y'all. No alcohol, Jason. On the count of 3, y'all. 3, 2, 1. Hydration. I just banged my teeth against this. Oh God, this is going great. That tasted pretty good, man. I had some water in there. Got like just a splash of cranberry juice. I got a whole lime too. But yeah, you guys, enjoy the rest of your mornings, your evenings, your afternoons, whatever it is. Get a lot of gaming in, watch a lot of stuff, eat a lot of food, have a lot of sex, whatever y'all do that brings you pleasure in life. Have fun doing it. And for me, for now, my name is NGS, signing out, and like always, I will catch you guys later. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one.